now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my soul.
Scan the QR codes to see what's upcoming for FTW Productions and what's available on demand right now. Button Master Stable Wars entire playlist. FTW Productions Watch Party for WrestleMania Go Home Raw. Mistress Audio dramatic readings featuring voice actors from Weymouth Youth Wrestling. All Retro Wrestling Review Series videos on demand and upcoming. All WrestleMania themed retros available now on demand. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Let's Play Series. WrestleMania 19 Revenge Mode Let's Play Series. All of A Simple Man's Brand Simply Predicting panels. Both episodes of The Don DeMarco Show. AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, every show week by week. Indie Force Episode 26, available now on demand. Jeff Meacham Network, all watch-along events. AEW Double or Nothing Dynamite Go Home Show Watch Party, available now on demand. A Simple Take, WWE Simple Takes featuring Cassidy 18 Studios. Super Mario Bros. Z voice acting. Episode 3 coming soon. Breaking news. ATW View Impromptu. WYW Intro and Immortal Stream. Wrestling with Idiocy Episode 8. Fast Food and Restaurants discussion. Plugs have concluded. On to the video.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
JJ, Jeff, you want to kick this thing off? Because I'm still trying to process everything here.
Yeah, it's like,
who wants to go first?
Yeah, who wants to go first?
well,
Come on in. It's open mic night with your host,
you could maybe say there's really 4 topics, but it's split into 6.
the Renegade, JJ Williams.
The Sammy and Eddie Kingston thing, which one's the better smelling turd?
And his panel of co-hosts.
I am the founder. We'll call me that for today since we're going with the Jeff Jarrett love theme here this week, according to JJ.
The West Coast Professor, Jeff Meacham.
Karma is karma is karma.
That's professional wrestling! Damn it!
The Simple Man, Noah Foster.
It's showtime! Yeah! How you doing, JJ? How you doing, Jeff?
James.
Yeah.
And the He-Man, James Hebert. Imagine Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Paul White, the Baldies! There you go! It sells
Oh,
itself!
God.
Get in there!
Short his ass and shit the bed.
He's not Amber Heard.
Give it time, JJ, give it time.
Now, I'm sure Jeff has some stuff that
Dumb move, just don't pull this bullshit again. You get one.
Tony needs to stop caring about the ratings.
Bradshaw said as long as the ads are in place, we're not going to lose that third hour.
Ring of Honor does not have to be AEW Live. They don't necessarily have to coexist with each other. We kind of saw that tonight to a degree.
Along with a panel of guests.
He is no longer glorious. Don't you bring that up. You want me to rant about what my NXT used to... No, we are done here for the night. I swear, James.
Because you never know who may show up for open mic night.
I leave our company in the capable hands of an extraordinary group of superstars, employees, and executives.
The first thing that came to my mind was, it's about damn time.
Amen!
I literally touched everybody in the state's trash. It's horrible, you guys.
Peyton's new thing is Dennis the Menace, but it's funny because she calls it Dentist the Medicine. And
That's great.
When Elliot Taylor came out and did Born for Greatness live, I was popping my pussy, having a great time. I didn't care. I was having so much fun.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Fuck Bill Belichick.
We ended on wrestling, and then you bring in that shit. That just how the fan goes off the damn rails. Brilliant, bloody brilliant.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome once again to the Saturday night shenanigans that are Open Mic Night. I am, of course, your host, your moderator for the evening, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, being joined by our illustrious panel. First and foremost, I haven't even begun drinking yet. First and foremost this evening, the man whose name is generally on the marquee. I just haven't put it up there yet. The man, the myth, the legend, the West Coast Professor, Jeff Meacham.
And I am at O'Callaghan's. Kind of. Not really, but, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure I know why you are drinking, as Vegas is currently up 4-2 in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. They are actually playing Stone Cold's music right now during intermission.
I'm so drunk even my hat's fade out of existence. That's how drunk I am right now. Anyway, we'll carry on. But yes, at O'Callaghan's with the world famous vaccine that started right here in Chicago, Illinois. So there you go.
There we go. Now your name's on the marquee.
Much appreciated.
Next up, the simple man with the spectacular voice, the man who called not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 watch-alongs over the course of the last week. And he's gearing up to do it again at the wee hours of the morning.
Yes.
As New Japan Pro Wrestling and the Jeff Meacham Network, a multiverse of media, will be presenting our coverage of Dominion.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the simple man with the simple takes, Noah Foster.
Good evening, gentlemen. How we doing?
We're doing. I know Jeff is not too happy at the current outcome of this game, but there is still 4 minutes to go. Things can change. How long does it take to score a goal, Coach Orion?
Less than half a second. And to be fair, I'm doing better than Aubrey Edwards' face today, so at least that's okay. So, you know.
Damn, let's not get Noah riled up, okay? If you want to see Noah and I go back and forth about Team Aubrey and Team KJ, go back and check out the simple take that we did just a couple hours ago.
That's fair.
Of
That's fair.
AEW Double or Nothing.
That's fair.
But we're going to try and keep the simple man calm, cool, collected, more like his normal today. After all, he does have to look forward to the fact that here, over the course of this evening, I must sing Joe Hendry's theme song.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord.
Oh, it's only 90 seconds. Don't even be like that.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Of course, we would not be the Co-4 without the fourth horseman, if you will. The He-Man, James Hebert, is in the house.
I'm a horseman, Ma. I made it.
Made it, Ma. Top of the world.
Oh, good Lord Almighty.
I made it with a tear in my eye.
All right.
Oh, it's going to be a long night, kids.
Yeah,
well, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Like I said in our private chat, I'm trying to get this to where it's over between 11:30 on the West Coast, 2:30 on the East Coast.
Yes.
As we do want to have a little bit of a break before the Dominion coverage begins.
Also appreciated.
And then, of course, rounding out the posse here this evening.
The man is in trouble.
The man who spent the better part of the last 2 days wondering what the hell he did to get on Meacham's bad side. The Meltzer of the multiverse, Josh Mansfield.
That's
Just
right.
finished putting on my chapstick to do some ass kissing.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Me. Get my singing voice ready for we hit $50.
Yes,
Total
yes.
donations tonight, JJ, if you want to.
I've actually got. I forgot to edit the dollar amount here, but I had all ready to go. Here we go.
Red 5 standing by.
Reminder: if we hit $50 in total super chats before Josh has to go night,
yes,
he will karaoke Taylor Swift.
That's right.
Yes, I
So
will.
as always, if you want to dictate the conversation, simple chat, simple as that.
Simple chat. It's super chat. Bot.
Super chat.
You want to see me
Like
embarrass
I
myself?
haven't even drank yet.
I know, right?
Thank you, Matthew. I will
there you
discuss
go.
that later when we get to our main.
Josh, stop talking over everybody. Fuck. God.
Man, we're all sober, and already, JJ, you've gone off the rails before the thing is dead. And here I am, who freaking slept 14 hours, woke up at 3 p.m.
Good for you,
already in
brother.
a better state than all you four combined.
14 hours is wonderful after the week you had last week, dude. You should sleep 14 hours every day now.
If I could, I
For real.
would.
First and foremost, before we begin our journey down Alice's rabbit hole, I want to give a special shout out to Scott 2020 Gladiator, who yesterday joined the members only section of the Casa D18 Studios channel. So we've got a new paid member over there. Thank you once again to him. I see you taking a drink. I know why. Vegas just got an empty netter. Daniel here, one of the early birds. It's time for another edition of Open Mic Night with a handful of topics. This is going to be a good one. Matthew saying good evening. Ryan saying good evening. Big G in the house.
We love Big G.
Hey there,
you,
hi
brother.
there, hi there, my family. Botch.
Ho there, my family.
Hey there, hi there, ho there, G. But we forgive you. We know you've got some other stuff going on in your head right now. Sending thoughts and prayers out to you and your family.
Yes,
We got you, bro.
Hassan in the house. Hello, Hassan. Ryan says, yeah, JJ, I just said they were playing Stone Cold to my wife. See, there we go. Ryan Dempsey watching the hockey game. Nathan says, hello. Matthew says, I can't believe they're going to give Aubrey a match with Karen Jarrett, or that is what it's looking like. Again, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. You want to see what that conversation looks like, we encourage you to go back to the Simple Man brand and check out the Simple Take that was me and Noah for the entirety. Mikey T tapped in for a couple of matches.
Then I came
James came in when he woke up and realized that it was already on the air.
Did happen.
But feel free to super chat about Karen and Aubrey if you want to, because I'll go off on it for a super chat. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Don't go there, Jeff.
Here comes the money. Here
Daniel with
comes
the $2 super chat. Thank you, Daniel. The countdown to CM Punk's return begins. Absolutely. We got some kudos for you, Josh. Matthew says he loved your No DQ article today, and you're 100% right on it. So if you haven't read it yet, go to nodq.com. Check out Josh's article. What is the name of the article, Josh?
It's We All Wanted a New Belt. This Ain't It, Hunter.
Yeah.
So there you go. Go check that out, and we'll get deeper in that once we get to that conversation piece, because that will be a topic point this evening. Arlene says, any song of Taylor Swift? If I remember, you said yesterday it was going to be You Belong With Me, right?
Yes, I will sing
Okay.
You Belong With Me by Taylor Swift.
I wasn't 100% sure, which is why I didn't further advertise it as such. I just remembered it was a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
Or, as Dewey likes to call her, Tay Tay.
That's right.
Yeah. But
Dylan
that's the
says
song I
hello
will
to
sing.
all.
Yep. Hello.
Hello.
All right. Well, I'm turning this miserable sports broadcast off because, hell with it.
Big G with a $5 super chat. Did Josh not get the memo about the Punk shirt? Love you guys. Thank you for the support. In all honesty, G, no, he didn't get the memo.
He did not. No.
It was something that me, Jeff, and Noah talked about coming off the air of the Simple Take yesterday for Night of Champions. James didn't even get the memo. He popped in wearing the same green sleeveless that he wore on Simple Take today, and we had to tell him, we all had a theme. We forgot to tell you. And he was like, don't worry about it. Shirt's right there. Grabbed it.
Ah, there we go. Look at that.
And to be fair, JJ, Josh wearing a Rock shirt is only fitting since, Rock and Punk were just such good buddies there,
Right.
And
I also don't have CM Punk stuff either way. Plus,
He
I'm
doesn't
not
have
on the
CM
Punk side
Punk.
of that whole.
He doesn't have CM Punk stuff. He doesn't have Mecha Multiverse of Media stuff,
Has a Greg Cherry shirt, but,
And I'm sure if there was a Matty Laws shirt, he'd have that too.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to deny that last one.
Yeah, we know you won't, Mansfield.
Hey, I got the big Matt Boski. Yeah.
Emmanuel, just so you know, I do see your super chat, which was a bug of G's. I'm not ignoring it. I'm just trying to get through the other hellos before I get to that.
Always good to see Colin in there.
Cleaver here. What is up, Cleaver?
What's up, brother?
Daniel, oh boy, open mic night. Over under. How long before Meacham blocks me with an open auditory device?
I don't know what that means, but okay.
G says, boo, Josh.
Boo this man. Boo this man. Tony the cokehead curly hair shames you for your lack of Punk merch.
Dylan says, yeah, we got the World Heavyweight Championship, and it's beautiful.
That's fair. That's fair.
Daniel says, for Aubrey, it'll be named Mr. Ed Brawl for All.
Oh, that's why he gets blocked right there. Time him out. Seriously, I'm not kidding. That's not appropriate. That's mean. That's mean spirit. It's different between the ha-ha about Karen and Aubrey, whatever. When you're calling somebody a horse face that's had legitimate voiced and vocal image problems.
Okay, yeah, right.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
That's pretty bad.
I didn't think about that when I popped it up, so
I know.
I'm gonna leave him be for now, but the next one he is definitely blocked.
Fair
Because
enough.
that's on me for popping it up.
Don't be a degenerate. Don't be a degenerate. Comedy subjective. That's not comedic. That's bullying.
Yeah, we try
bullying.
to be the polar opposite of the IWC. We here try to preach positivity and good messages. None of our topics this evening are really negative topics. There's one that has a hint of connotation of negative to it, but it's not exactly negative when it's truth.
Yes, fair.
So Matthew says, hello guys, how are you doing? Everyone hit that like button. Yes, every channel this is going out on. Like, subscribe, share, the whole 9.
Just do it.
Donate.
Dylan says, Punk hasn't been wrong yet. Absolutely. Oh, Big G was booing you about your article.
Oh,
Yeah,
not the fact that you didn't get the memo about the shirt, but for the article.
So we will talk about the belt and Roman and everything in the main event. If Josh is here for it, great. If not, he made his opinion about the belt more than clear. So check out the article if he's not here in time. So
Dylan's saying the belt isn't even that bad. People whine about the silliest stuff. I mean,
accurate.
Yes and no. I understand people's perspectives in the fact that it's not really a new belt. It's just a different color.
Yeah.
New belt kind of alludes to new design, but I digress. Cleaver says, hope y'all are doing well. And here's a surprise. Greg Cherry in the house.
Greg!
Hey, Greg.
Hi.
What's up, Yins guys? Only here briefly, but I love all y'all. Just threw out a retweet for the show. Thank you very much, Greg.
Greg, we will see you Wednesday. I'll be there. So.
Since you're here, and we'll still get to this in the shells, but everyone make sure that you guys check out the Greg Cherry Show.
Yes, sir.
Every Wednesday, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern.
Damn right.
Go back in the archives, check out his old episodes if you've never seen any of his stuff before.
Yes.
Usually a fun time on the Greg Cherry Show.
And beginning the week leading into Money in the Bank, back within the multiverse of media full time.
There you go. All right. So now, before we get to the assigned topics, let me go ahead and get here to Emmanuel's super chat. Topic starter: which was more over, Eddie and China or Rhea and Dominic?
Damn.
And I'm gonna let you go first, Meacham, since that super chat went to your channel.
Right. Well, I mean, I'll talk about yesterday owing me for the super chats he was doing on yours yesterday because I wasn't broadcasting yesterday on my own channel. So thank you, Emmanuel. Much appreciated.
We're already at 17 of the $25, so
I mean that's fair.
Or $50, excuse me.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
We're already on our way.
To answer the question, people tend to crap on this era because it's not as good as the Attitude Era, and it's subjective, right, fellow dad over in wrestling over there.
Yes, sir.
I think that if you compare the two couples to the timeline they exist in, I think Rhea and Dom are more over. And I know that's a hard take for us that have been in the room that were alive during the time that China was Eddie's Mamacita, but think about it. They were really only on screen together for a few months in 2000 before Joni got the Playboy deal the first time. And a lot of that was comedic. Okay, the majority of it was comedic, because Eddie with the lowrider, China with the interactions and everything. But even as that started to filter, kind of taper off a little bit, Joni was already going through the idea that she was going to be relegated to the women's division. So her mind was already not 100% into it. Rhea and Dom are both all in on this, and they have been. And Rhea's presence in Dominic's character's life has done nothing but accentuate everything about how obnoxious Dominic Mysterio has become. Because he can get away with it because he's got his mommy with him. So I think if you compare the eras and the timelines the two couples exist in, I think Rhea and Dom are over. I'd even say they're way more over.
That's fair. Matthew with a hot take here says China and Eddie will always be special.
Yes.
But there is just something about Rhea and Dom. Even more so with the fact that Buddy Matthews is part of the joke, but taking it with strides.
Yeah.
That's the difference, because I think if the Eddie China thing, if social media was as pronounced as it is now, if it was that pronounced back then, I think the couples on the outside would have been kind of like about it. I know Vicky wouldn't have been happy about it, or the girls, because you remember Eddie and Vicky were having not issues yet, but they were on their way to that at that point. So Daniel's awesome. So yeah, and the fact that not only in on the joke, but Max is rapping on it about him. They're firing back on Twitter, which is funnier than shit. So there you go. I just think that the Rhea Dom thing is just so. It's one of many bright spots in what a lot of people are calling kind of the dull end of business, which I disagree with. It's not dull at all. It's wonderful right now, but I look forward to their music hitting every week.
Agreed. And I completely echo your sentiment, Jeff. And then we'll turn it over to whoever wants to speak next. Feel free to. Okay, James wants to go next. But I feel like they took the blueprint that Eddie and China laid out and have taken it to the next level.
Yep.
Nobody liked Dominic until the last 4 months. He still gets nuclear heat when he comes out there, but you can just tell that because of Mommy, people are like a little bit more willing to deal with it. People were shitting all over him when he was supposed to be a baby face alongside his daddy.
Yeah.
It took the Judgment Day thing. It took the Mommy thing to really kind of get him to come into his own.
Yeah, that's true.
Go ahead, James.
So my thing with it is, I think it's like apples and oranges, as Jeff said. It's like one was shorter than the other. So by proxy, Dom and Rhea are more over. That said, in my personal opinion, not that I hate it, I love Rhea and I love what Dom's doing with it, but there's always going to be a special place for me when it comes to the China and Eddie stuff.
Absolutely.
Because you could tell there was genuine connection there between the two. Whatever the connection was, I don't know, but especially during that time in Eddie's life, Jesus Christ. But there was obviously something there between the two. They did really well when they had that short time. So I always enjoyed those segments. I look back at those fondly.
Fair enough. Josh, you wanted to say something on this? Then we'll go to Noah to wrap it up.
So here's the thing. Eddie Guerrero wishes he could have gotten the reaction in 2000 that Dom is getting now when he just puts a mic up to his mouth and doesn't even have to say a word. Rhea and Dom, absolutely all day, every day. I've loved Dom since he first debuted, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I've been behind Dom since day one. So, yeah, it's freaking beautiful how far Dom has come. And I'm excited to see what happens when this eventually does go wherever it's going to go. And Dom comes into fully on his own. So, but right now, this is beautiful. And honestly, I would love to see Triple H bring in Buddy Matthews, even for a one-off, just because it would be so freaking funny. So, yeah. Rhea and Dom.
There you go. Noah, your thoughts as we wrap up this impromptu topic?
It's one of those things where you look at the way this generation, how people go over versus then when people didn't have the influence of social media and the internet's perspective. So in this day and age, with all the other resources backing it up and the fact that nothing's private and you're out there in the public eye virtually and realistically, yeah, Dominic and Rhea Ripley's more over, but in my opinion, though, like James alluded to, what holds a special place more for me is definitely Eddie Guerrero and China. Eddie Guerrero necessarily didn't, I think, look for that perception that Dominic gets when Rhea Ripley whispers in his ear he's out there on screen. But it felt more like special when it came to what those two brought out of each other, whether together or separately. So, yeah, in the public's opinion, in the world ruled by social media, of course, Dominic and Rhea Ripley are over because there's a bigger scope in that reaction to what they're doing. Their social media and the internet wasn't so much of an influence back then for China and Eddie Guerrero. So, yeah, currently the ones nowadays, them are over, but I still deem Eddie Guerrero and China much more special.
Okay, fair enough. Before we move on, got a message here from your buddy Chris Rotz. Hey, everyone. Hope you guys enjoy the show tonight. And tomorrow is my 23rd birthday.
Happy birthday, bro.
So happy early birthday to you, Chris. Look forward to interacting with you the next time on Simply Predicting. Whenever it is that I get onto one of those, it probably won't be against all odds because I don't follow that enough, but Forbidden Door maybe, or whatever, coming after that Money in the Bank. Daniel says, Guerrero got plenty of love, especially when he beat Brock. Dom might have good heat, but he'll never have a moment like Eddie and a certain Canadian ending Mania holding both main belts.
Yeah.
So, okay. To say he'll never have that moment is a little bit premature. He's still very young in his career. And
granted, but I think the point he's trying to make is, like, who is he going to have that moment with? The only thing that would make sense would be if him and Ray both had the belts at the same point on the same night for something like that.
Granted.
But for that moment to be special, they have to find a way to come back together.
Right. And like I said, I understand the mindset. Dom, with the right development and the proper nurturing, has great grand moments ahead of him in his young career. Will he have a Mania 20 moment? Probably not. But I think the people that are picking Eddie, and again, Eddie had so many wonderful moments. Being in that Cow Palace when I went up there a couple summers ago, and just being in that building, you could feel the energy of the NWO era. You could feel the energy of the old, the classic era with Patterson and Stevens and everybody that had come before. And you can really feel I definitely got the goosebumps thinking about Eddie Guerrero winning the championship and holding it up in front of all those people that were there. So I get Eddie had a lot of great moments, and he and China had some wonderful moments in the short time they were together. Rhea and Dom have gotten more over in an environment that it's harder to get over in. And I really think they've only just begun, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
I think they're just scratching the surface.
Absolutely.
I'm going to take a very big gamble on this and say if we want to elevate Mommy and Dom Dom, yeah, I heard the laugh. Shush it. I'm going to take this gamble. Shoot me for it. Yeah, I know you will. Mommy should help Dom Dom dethrone the Ring General Gunther for the IC belt.
Ooh, that would be heat.
Stop! Damn it! I actually gonna agree with the kid, but okay, whatever. I think that let's get Gunther. That was great. I know you didn't read that today, so that's fine. By the way, it's funny. Okay, so let's get Gunther past the honky tonky meter, and then I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would say there's a better chance if it was Theory still on Raw for him to dethrone Theory, but yeah.
Yes. That is now the look from good old JM whenever I can't get myself to properly
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably edit it so that way your StreamYard thing will say Jeff Meacham's tired of your shit.
There you go.
There you go.
That's right.
Anyway.
All right.
But we digress.
Yes, that's got us all caught up here. Thank you again, Emmanuel, for that super chat and for the impromptu conversation. We always appreciate it and welcome it. And again, if you want to dictate the conversation like Emmanuel just did, super chat. It's as simple as that.
Ooh, I like that's
good.
So we're going to go to our very first official topic, which is from the AEW brand.
Yay.
And I just love keeping these logo images to kind of help introduce the stuff.
Absolutely.
So we found out a week ago that AEW Collision was going to be at the United Center in Chicago.
Yes.
And then, of course, immediately following that, Tony Khan was going to make an announcement about the debut of Collision this week. And much to everyone's lack of surprise, it is official that CM Punk is back in the fold and will be on the debut episode of Collision followed by the open mic night version of the match game, and then our regular festivities.
Yes.
What does this mean for AEW is the big question, because I swear to God, we've been talking about this shit since Brawl Out last year.
I
Seems
don't
like
care. It
every
means that-
week something has come up about Punk or the Elite.
Yeah,
I'm glad that there's finally an end game here.
Yes. Yes.
I'm glad that we don't have to talk about Brawl Out anymore.
Yes.
Because Punk is coming back to TV.
Yes.
The next time that we may have to address Brawl Out is if and when they actually book a Punk Omega CMFTR versus the Elite style matchup.
It's the only time I'll be happy to bring it up.
But what does this mean for AEW? Because we all know, whether measured the same way as they were in the 90s, early 2000s or not, ratings have suffered since Punk's absence. James, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw it to you first so you can just get your feelings out on this one and we can move on to the next person.
For real, like, the thing for me is I'm just glad we're at the point now where it doesn't have to be talked about anymore. Unless it's, of course, in storyline and they book it. The whole reason I wanted Punk back and I just wanted it to be done and over with is because that was the only way it was going to stop being talking about.
Yep.
If Punk left, it was going to kept talking about. If the Elite left, it would have been talked about even probably more so. I'll even admit.
Yeah.
It would have been a shit show either side. And we would never hear the end of it for 5 years. It would have been like the Punk shit all over again when he left WWE the first time. Nobody would have shut up about him. They would have just kept chanting his name. And while that was good for the time, especially when WWE was just feeding us some bullshit on a silver platter, this ain't that. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much good shit that's going on within that company, and for some reason, for years, or not, it feels like for years, for months, they just talked about it, and the IWC just wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Right.
As if they ever.
And it was just like, to the point where it's like, we wanted to keep the topic count on that specific topic, I think, as minimal as possible. I think it took us a couple of weeks ago to reach the double digits finally. I counted, by the way.
Yeah.
So, like, we really didn't want to touch this with a 9-foot pole if we didn't have to. The only reason we would talk about it is if there was, like, a legit key point of information where we had to talk about it.
And I tried my best to keep us from having to talk about it because I knew how tired we were getting and the fans were getting of having to hear it.
Yeah, and I'm just over it, man. Like, I just wanted Punk back so the shit would finally end. And it's finally over. Like, now we can actually properly move on. Now, I know people are like, oh, they're not going to do Punk and the Elite. Bro, here's the reality of it. That protective order, whatever the fuck that legal document is, that's going to get ripped up the minute they realize, oh, shit, we have to be in the same building for pay-per-view. It's not going to last long. They're literally going to be building that match. It's going to happen at Brawl Out, listen to me. All In, London. They're going to book that match. I can't imagine they wouldn't book that match at this point. That's definitely one of your marquee matches you're going to book. Whether it's Omega and Punk, or they do the four-way that I've been pitching for literal months now since it happened. Who's to say? But either way, something of that nature is going to happen. And no, I don't love the IWC Zero. You know I don't. So, yeah, I'm just glad it's over. Finally, we can move on. We don't have to be stuck in this one fucking time capsule of hell for all eternity. So, that's my thoughts.
I'm on the same boat as James, but I I did. The minute Tony made the announcement, I legit texted my folks like, "Can you get to my closet at the other house and bring the Punk shirt over here so I can have it ready for what was going to be Thursday night's Talk Wrestling?" Didn't happen, so but I have it ready. Look, I'm never gonna completely get off of Phil's ass for being a hypocrite when it came to coming back and then the little tirade he threw. I'm not. I flat out refuse to step down off that soapbox. However, he's good for business. That's just the end of that story. If it's good for business, if it's best for business, like the McMahons and Triple H always used to say, then and if he's willing to do that business, bring him back. I'm okay with it. And you know what? It'll give us a hell of a Saturday night in 2 weeks because we've got his return to television, we've got Match Game, and we've got Open Mic Night afterwards. That's going to be one of the most loaded, and I said that having a drink in my hand, Saturday nights we've had in a long goddamn time, and I'm here for it.
I agree.
I completely agree too. I mean, it's just definitely something to keep our eyes on. And you know, they're saying in the chat, I had to leave the chat for a second. Do you really want a situation like that, considering what brand splits? I still haven't taken a sip yet. It's into WWE. Khan is basically kowtowing to Punk's whim. It's ultimately going to divide the audience and lower ratings for both shows.
I thought about that too. The reality, though, is that even if they don't necessarily reach 1 million on either show, TNT and really all of television does not give a shit about the general viewership anymore because they know it's going down. They care more about the demographic that they're advertising to, and that's really what ultimately matters at the end of the day. That's why not a lot of us will talk about the general rating, except for the fact that, yes, it has gone down significantly since Punk left, and it's obvious, right? But otherwise, it's like, it doesn't matter to the general company. Like, it didn't make a dent in their finances. And if anything, they've never been better. Like, the advertising, is in the demographic. So,
Zero's chat is spot on, by the way. So,
oh gee, yeah, there you go. You got to generate clicks. You damn right.
Yep. Full on admit it.
Yeah, I admit it. But anyway, what we got next? Who next?
Well, like I was gonna say, I don't know if I completely agree with that because of the fact that there's so many talents not getting used on the roster.
Yeah.
I feel that by splitting the roster, they're going to be able to get those people some TV time. And then the only time they should have to interact would be at pay-per-views, which are 4 or 5 a year. And if somebody on Collision has a title shot, then that means that championship can end up coming to Collision.
Right.
Which means more ratings. And the other thing is y'all just got to make sure to divide the rosters evenly. And not just fully load up Dynamite and have Collision be CM Punk and the Jobbers.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
You know, I mean, granted, Punk is a name.
Yeah.
But if, you know, and I'm not trying to shit on these names, so forgive me. I'm just naming off people that I don't see featured that much on Dynamite and Rampage. But if Collision has got like the Varsity Blondes, the Gun Club, Willow Nightingale, Sky Blue, you know, and those type of talents, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
You know, they need to have Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends need to be on Collision to help try to balance the fact that, you know, Wardlow is probably going to stay on Dynamite with the TNT title.
Which doesn't make sense, by the way.
Yeah, I know, because Rampage is the TNT show.
Yeah, and Rampage and Collision are the TNT shows.
Yeah. So flip it then. Move Wardlow to Collision and have Cassidy be on Dynamite.
Yeah, true. My thing.
Split the pillars up. Put 2 of the pillars on Collision, 2 of them on Dynamite.
Yeah, my whole thing also to add to your point, Jeff, is
JJ, but that's okay.
Jeff, JJ. Yeah, see, I haven't had a drink. I'm sober all the time. So the thing about it is, like, I don't think the roster split, if you will, is going to even last anyway. I think a lot of people think, oh, they're just having a full-on roster split. They're doing it temporarily. I highly doubt that they're bringing Punk in and they're not going to have him cross paths with the Elite eventually, especially when both sides have vehemently expressed that they want to work together and make money with this. All sides have now that were involved in that shit. The Young Bucks have even come out and said it themselves. They would not be opposed to it. Omega said it in passing because he had to legally for now. And then Punk did also. Punk is the whole reason he's back is because he wants to work with them. So it's going to happen. They're just temporarily splitting the rosters up right now where Punk is strictly on Collision and the Elite are strictly on Dynamite until eventually a pay-per-view happens where they cross paths and they have no choice. And then they're going to fight and then they're going to, it's going to be a pull par or whatever. And then they're going to build to the match or something like that. That's what's going to happen. You don't want to give away something that can generate this much money away willy-nilly here. You don't want to do that.
Agreed. And I was joking with Noah earlier today before you joined the Simple Take that with the way things are going on, or with the way things went on Rampage, leading to on Dynamite on Wednesday with the potential of, and this is going to be the one time I'm going to bring her up, Noah, Jeff and Karen Jarrett versus Mark Briscoe and Aubrey Edwards. The debut episode of Collision needs to have Aubrey Edwards versus Karen Jarrett one-on-one in a cage.
That would be
we need to make that shit fucking happen.
Dude, I was not...
And me and Noah will call that shit live here on the Multiverse of Media.
As long as Karen Jarrett is sent back in Tetromino parts in a wooden crate back to Russia, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Holy fucking hell! Whoa! Whoa!
Hot damn!
Hot damn indeed.
Noah's World.
Noah, dude, JJ brought that up to me as if it was fact to me just to fuck with me because I just got on and I just woke up. So he just said, yeah, well, a debut of Collision is going to have Aubrey Edwards versus Karen Jarrett in the cage. I just about had a double take. I'm like, what? What? No, they're not what? They're not trained.
Shame on you, Matthew. Shame on you. How dare you disrespect the goddess that is Karen Jarrett like that?
Poor guy. There's Noah. Noah's all focused today. Look at him.
Got another super chat kind of relating to this from Emmanuel. Thank you, Emmanuel. Which was worse, the Punk versus Elite drama or the Edge Matt Hardy Lita debacle?
In the end game, Punk and Elite. But continue. But yes.
I was gonna say the Edge Matt and Lita thing because that was more real life as opposed to petty work bullshit.
Yes. Yes.
The Elite shit is petty work bullshit.
Yeah.
And children that don't know how to be bosses being bosses.
Mm-hmm. On all fronts.
I think the Matt Edge and Lita thing was worse. And at the end of the day, they still were able to work matches to do business out of it.
Yeah, see, that's my logic. Because my logic was, with JJ, like, I picked the Elite and Punk thing because they couldn't even do what Edge, Lita, and Hardy could do. So I said, nah, this is worse. It's stupid. But yeah. We got a
Josh, go ahead.
Combatant.
So, with this whole thing, I would say honestly, in the scope of things talked about by Punk and the Elite was more talked about. Edge and Lita and Matt legit got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Ace Steel did too, but Matt got fired, and everyone petitioned to bring Matt back. When they did that story, it was Matt who pushed for that story to begin with. Lita almost quit, legit, because she was just done with that story. She did not want to deal with having all of that dirty laundry being on TV. She didn't like it. Yeah, they worked together, but Lita and Edge were very much uncomfortable with it. And speaking of Lita and her, this right here. And speaking of Lita's ex-boyfriend, Mr. Phil Brooks, Chick Magnet Punk, I could care less about June 17th Collision. I really could care less. I have other stuff I'm doing that day. I could care less to see him on my screens anymore. I guess you don't see me wearing any Punk stuff. I don't own any Punk stuff. His luster is completely worn off for me. And yes, I get it. We'll eventually see the match between him and the Wish.com Chris Jericho and the Super Kick jerk-offs. We'll eventually see it, but I don't particularly care. I really don't. We've talked about it for so fucking long. I'm over it. So, yeah.
All right. Anybody else?
What about Noah? Noah?
I said anybody else.
What's up?
He's very focused.
Oh, right. CM Punk, United Center, the second coming, second city saint, second city. See, business. What sort of precipice does CM Punk's return do in the case of drawing that demographic's attention? Because who gives a fuck about ratings in this day and era? At this point, as long as the past is the past, I'll just take it for what it is. What's more important for me is how Collision presents talent that hasn't been used. Doesn't matter where it's AEW or the big damn stupid W, all right? They have an overinflated roster where they aren't still using everybody. Right now, one's in a brand identity crisis that even identity theft can't even figure it out. So at this point, it is what it is. We'll see what CM Punk sets as far as his ongoings in AEW is, and whether they stay exclusively to Collision, including pay-per-view time. That remains to be seen. I'm just with the gimmick. Honestly, two shits less about his return. I'm more so just looking forward to another wrestling product that will give me, hopefully, more variety, more storytelling, and will show more people more opportunity. And we'll see what happens.
All right, there we go. Before we move on, Josh has sent in a $10 super chat to put his own money towards him singing.
There you go.
Also, Dom and Rhea need to pull an Edge and Lita for Buddy to interrupt.
Yeah. At the end of the day, no, the consensus was, JJ, you made it crystal clear. Adam and Amy and Matt were able to do business. I don't see, at least in the short term, Phil, Matt, and Nick doing business. At least not until they, prove us wrong, put them in the ring, let them do business. But until seeing is believing. I said it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing is believing, believing is seeing. If I see them in the ring together, cool. If not, then we know.
Yep. At the end of the day, it would just be lost opportunity for a great financial gain, and then we'll see how they, reap rewards outside of that, if possible.
Exactly. And Josh is frozen.
Huh?
Oh, okay. No, he actually sitting that still. Wow. Damn.
No, sorry, I was reading via scrolling along to see how much we had raised already.
Let the producers worry about it. We got you.
Matthew says, I can see Punk and Omega working together, but not the Bucks. And honestly, that's the only match I want to see.
Same.
Yeah.
As good as CMFTR versus Kenny and the Bucks would be,
Yeah.
the less I see the Bucks on my screen, the better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing. Like the main event really comes down to like the the 4 guys that have been built up the most in AEW: Omega, Hangman, Punk, Max.
Yep.
Like that's the match. It's another fatal 4-way, but if you're gonna book anything in a multi-man scenario, 4-way is the way to go, and it's got to be for the title. I'm just saying.
They would have to hold off on that match for now, though, since they just came off the heels of the Pillars 4-way.
God.
Yeah, which was great. But yeah.
Like they would at least have to wait until Revolution next year, minimum.
Who wins the title then? Because obviously Max will lose it if he resigns.
For the bidding war 2024, as he always talks about.
Like that's the end game.
Yeah, and again, I go back and forth with Matt and Nick. I've known those guys since they started, so I kind of, It seems to me like everybody's back. We can all do business, but the money match for me has never been Matt and Nick versus Phil. If you want to throw the two of them into a 6-man with Kenny against Punk and FTR, take my damn money. I'll do it. But thing is, we could have seen that for free on Dynamite, and it probably would have meant a lot more because it was happening in the moment. Like, if you're going to make me pay for it, I'm going to be like, okay, so we waited it for a year and, whatever. I definitely want to see Punk Omega. I still say that should be one of the featured bouts at Wembley Stadium because it's a big marquee matchup between two of the people that have been the faces of non-WWE for a long time.
Yeah.
If not, maybe Forbidden Door.
Yeah, that's another.
He does have the New Japan ties.
I was speaking of New Japan ties as well. The match I would rather see if you're gonna book a 6-man, I'll be honest, CMFTR versus Omega, Hangman, and Ibushi.
Yeah,
that would be absurdly good. Honest to God, like that would be great. I would think because Young Bucks, what are they doing now anyway? What do you do with them?
Well, but that's the thing. They haven't done much with them except the battle with the Elite and VCC. I still, for whatever reason, maintain that they were waiting to see how this Punk thing shook out. Now that he's back, we start building toward the real blow off we've been wanting to see for a year.
Mm-hmm. Although at Forbidden Door, because of what I've seen lately, just to build CM Punk back in, I can see them finally pulling off CM Punk versus Kenta, GTS versus GTS.
Yeah, well, if the performance that he had was anything to go by in the resurgence, I don't know about that, Chief.
I think Kenta could have cared 2 shits less about Hikuleo. I think he'll actually put more effort in the match against CM Punk because they've been going at this for a while.
Dude, slowest rock and brawl of all time. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I actually encourage everybody to see that train wreck of a match just to see how bad it is to laugh because it was that fucking funny.
Either way, Collision, let's see what you bring. I'm excited.
Yeah.
But CM Punk's not the reason. For me as a fan.
So we're going to move on there from that, and we're going to discuss a topic that kind of transcends the two companies here, as Baby Fever has begun to sweep the wrestling world. Again, we're trying to be different from the negativity in the IWC, which is why we're bringing stuff like this up. Of course, it all began with Carmella and Corey Graves announcing that their baby was coming in November.
Yay!
And then this past Sunday on Double or Nothing, we had Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti announcing their pregnancy prior to the Pillars match.
Super cool.
Aww.
That's nice.
So
And I mean, again, I've made my feelings for Sammy more than well known. But it's kind of hard to hate on something like this, for real.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came out on Tuesday that Ryan Cabrera and Alexa Bliss are expecting in December as well. So both Alexa and Ty will be having babies around the same time.
Well, there you go.
So that's kind of awesome.
That is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's people forget that they're human beings too. They're not just characters you see on television. They've got lives outside of these little screens we watch them on. Dylan, I'm with you, brother, 100%.
Without
absolutely.
question.
Yes, there you go. Another Double J reference. Haha. Anyway. Shush you. And Matt makes a good point that was kind of going around the IWC this week that, everybody that's had a singles match with Asuka here recently has had that fertility goddess mojo going. So good for Asuka. And I pointed out yesterday that Asuka actually, they had a condom mask that had Alexa's hair in the graphics. So good on Asuka for keeping Alexa in the mix there. I was very appreciative of that. Anyway. Congrats. I wish the karaoke coming up was had a Cuban feel because I was saying Desi Arnaz's "We're Having a Baby, My Baby and Me" for all the baby fever going on, but not quite that John Wayne era of I Love Lucy that you were on this week, Jay. It's a totally different time of I Love Lucy.
Yeah. Because by the time we got to John Wayne, Little Ricky was already there.
There you go.
But yeah, just wanted to take a moment to
absolutely
congratulate and throw that out there again. Like as soon as they came out and started doing the cue cards,
right?
I was like, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And then they got to the last card, and I was like, God damn it, I can't
rag on this. Yeah, it's like
but how do you legitimately hate on somebody
right?
making an announcement like that? I mean, I guess you could hate on them for using the public forum to making the announcement, but it doesn't make much difference if they put it on Twitter or they did it at pay-per-view. Still,
especially nowadays. Forum. Yeah. Yep. It's a beautiful thing, and they're happy, and especially with Carmella's announcement, we kind of glazed over it when it went down, but Leah and Matt have dealt with, she recently had an ectopic pregnancy, which if you don't know what that is, please, all right, no, I hate that dumb word, by the way. Sorry. I will always have a crush on Alexa Bliss. But anyway, dealing with an ectopic pregnancy, one of my dearest friends of the past had a couple of those, and she still managed to have what they call a miracle baby. So it is rare, but it does happen. So I'm very happy for Leah and Matt that they were actually able to conceive, and hopefully they'll carry through.
I know just had the gender reveal this past week.
They did.
That they're having a boy.
Yes. And they didn't blow things up or set people on fire by doing it. So good on them.
No, they just did the traditional cake where the inside of the cake was blue or pink.
And the kids cut Corey's kids cut the cake, which I thought was just a tremendous touch. That was great. Yeah, I know from experience, not my own family, but the family I have kind of created through my son, that blended families don't always work out, but they do on occasion. And it seems like I'm using Corey and Carmella seem to have a good relationship, at least with Corey's kids. I don't know how Corey's ex-wife feels now, because that was really touch and go there for a minute. So it seems to me like things are going to go well for these three impending babies and their families. So hopefully things will be better. Alexa even said, she's, got the time I mapped out to get back in the ring. So she will miss the business. As awesome as this is for her and Ryan, she will miss the business, and she'll be back. So
yes, Josh.
So in going with this, I think it's really cool. But we're getting to, be a part of this with them and celebrate with them.
Right.
Just like when Becky went, faced Asuka, and she went and announced, her pregnancy, and now her baby's so adorable, and Becky's bringing her to Gorilla, and we're getting to see the little one with, Triple H and everything, and it's just so cool knowing that especially these wrestling couples where both parties are wrestlers, getting to see their kids grow up in the business, I think that's going to be interesting. We see that now with, Becky and Seth's kid. We'll probably see that with Corey and Carmella's, and again, congratulations to Carmella after the tragedy of what happened before. Probably see that with Sammy and Tay, and it'll be interesting to see, I think. But again, they're human beings first. Congratulations to them. They absolutely deserve it, and we should all be supportive of them. Flat out.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And nothing more needs to be said about that.
Yeah, it's been a refreshing thing to not see a whole lot of bagging on it, which has been nice.
Right.
Well, I mean, there's no reason to rag on it. Like I said, it's like I'm not a Sammy fan. I rag on him constantly, but like how do you turn around and you rag on him for that? Unless it's sheer jealousy that he was able to get someone that looks like Ty Conti knocked up. And you hating on him for that purpose.
Yep. Him and Dom would be great friends. Just saying.
Right. Poor bastard.
I mean,
I do see the question in there. I am getting the menu up right now to get the exact description. So stand by there, Quazac. Yeah, I'll get there.
Yes. And Ryan, I appreciate that compliment. I got it when AEW came to the forum this year.
That's why it's purple and yellow, in case those are wondering. They're out in California.
Yes. Technically Lakers themed, but JJ and I know the real reason.
Yes, yes. Because before the Lakers wore those colors, they were the Kings colors.
That's right. Damn it.
Sports.
Yeah, I know. We know.
Can't wait for how he's going to be completely out of his element during that hockey game.
I'm more likely just going to be staring like this, not reacting at all. Like when my friend took me to go see Solo, and I'm like, what the fuck is this space age shit?
You know what? Emmanuel makes a valid point here. He says, have to be honest, Alexa being pregnant is a blessing since they had no direction for her. It's good to give her time off to figure things out and a refreshed Lexi.
Agreed. 100%. Yeah, she wasn't doing anything of substance on the main roster. Might as well let her go, had the time off. They were doing she was doing, Masked Singer, and then, time away in idle hands are a dangerous thing, ladies and gentlemen. And like they said, it was the best blessing of an Opes ever. So, hey, it happens.
Well, Jeff, also just to go along with that point, you think that wrestling for these people is literally their lives. This proves right here that their lives isn't solely just to the industry. They actually do want to do more outside of it. Like, for example, start a family. I got nothing but love and support for that. So at the end of the day, I hope that truly does help bring more happiness, not only to Alexa Bliss, but to others as well, and encourages others to do the same, not necessarily start the family thing, but find happiness in more than just one thing.
Right. Exactly.
Go ahead, Josh.
If I can just say one thing real quick. I remember when Lacey Evans, when she went away for her pregnancy, I remember people were ragging on her like, what about your career?
Well,
people, we have to realize these wrestlers who are doing this for their livelihood, their career, our entertainment, their lives are more than just for our entertainment. They have lives.
Ding.
They're allowed to have a life outside of just what we see. So we shouldn't rag on them. We should support and be happy for them. Like, I'm excited for when Natalia and, Kid have a kid. That'll be great to see and support them.
The difference that I see, and granted, I think her comments came out after her pregnancy. But when you think about the comments that Lacey Evans has made specifically towards mental illness, therein lies a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got you. I'd forgotten about that, so my bad.
But I think those comments came out after her pregnancy. So the timeline still doesn't add up, but when you're a person that has this type of reputation, you're easier to get shit on. Sammy and Ty, I think, dropped the news at the perfect moment because although Sammy has been uber heel for the better part of the last year, the Four Pillars thing was really starting to get him a little bubbling as a babyface push.
Yep.
And that announcement just took to the moon. Next level as far as babyface push goes now.
Yep.
Especially when MJF tried to throw the money back in his face during the match.
Yep.
And Sammy went for the pinfall instead, basically telling MJF, I'm not taking your money, even though it could help me and my kid out.
Right.
That just exponentially made him even more of a baby face.
Yep.
Josh, also keep in mind that when Lacey went off for the pregnancy, she was doing the story with Flair, and people were just hating on that so bad. So,
yeah. Like Emmanuel said, that could have just been a kayfabe baby to begin with.
It was so like that. That was one of the, thankfully, and pardon the use of the word here, but it fits, even though it's, a horrible thing to think about in real life, aborted storylines in history. Thank God that one was torpedoed right away. Golly, was that bad. Oof.
Yep.
Oof.
Absolutely.
Lacey getting pregnant for real was the best thing that ever happened to that story, because Flair left and Charlotte got as far away from that shit as humanly possible. And again, Ryan quoting our simple man with his spectacular take: priorities over passion. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Now, granted, what they're doing is their livelihood also, but a lot of people now, more so than ever, are prioritizing families over staying in the ring. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations to all the couples.
Yes.
Good on them. And now I get to simp for a baby face, Sammy Guevara.
There you go. To answer the question, Jay, before we move on, what I was drinking was actually a drink I discovered here at O'Callaghan's in Chicago. It's called The Vaccine. I discovered it during the pandemic year in 2020. I was on a trip with Dylan and his mother to different Six Flags around the country. We were staying right on the Chicago River, and her and I got into a fight because she's a bitch. And is what it is. So I'm going for a walk. Hell of it. Went down the street. There happened to be an Irish pub called O'Callaghan's, and on the menu at the time was the vaccine. You have to take 2 to make sure you get full inoculation. It is literally honey Jack Daniels, Dewar Scotch, a little squeeze of lemon juice, and ginger beer. Now, on the surface, that sounds like a lot, and it could be a very gross combination. I enjoy it, and I figured since we're talking about Punk in the opening topic, and I have the hat, the Chicago hat from O'Callaghan's, I would start my night off with a vaccine. I'm probably going to hit the honey Jack here momentarily.
And he needed to make a double after watching Vegas win tonight.
Oh, stop it. I'm make a triple the honey Jack straight up now just for that comment.
Keen A-Train, you're the second person to post that in the chat. I've starred both comments regarding that. We'll get to that when we get to Dominion.
Yeah, it was the right name for the right drink at the right time, because like I said, this is August 2020. We were still neck deep in this pandemic crap. The trip was already scheduled before it hit. So I went for a walk and I was pissed off, and it's like, oh, there we go, and it had a good taste to it. So.
All right, so we're going to take a commercial break.
Cool.
We're going to take a look at, we were talking about Collision a little bit ago. So we're going to take a look here at all the watch-alongs that are coming up here across the multiverse of media. Trailer begins with Against All Odds because we just added Dominion the other night. Didn't make sense to add that to a trailer that was only going to be ran today.
Right.
So beginning with Against All Odds, this is everything coming up starting Friday through WrestleMania 40. So there we go. That is everything that'll be coming your way across the multiverse of media. And yes, we are going to be covering Dominion tonight. We'll get into the things that have been posted in the chat room about that once we get to the shills and we make sure that we plug Dominion tonight. I'd rather not get too much more sidetracked than we've already been getting this evening. Keep in mind that if we get a $50 in total super chats for the evening, Josh will be singing Taylor Swift, You Belong to Me. We're already at $34, over half the way there. And yes, I still have to sing Joe Hendry's theme song at some point this evening. So make sure that you guys stay tuned for all that. And of course, if you want to dictate the conversation, super chat. It's as simple as that. So we're now going to jump into WWE coverage. And the first thing we're going to get into is a comment made by the rowdy one, Miss Ronda Rousey. With how shallow the women's division is right now, there's not enough women around here to keep us busy for a month. And so that's the biggest challenge that we have, is to get this company to actually care and invest into this tag division.
Amen to that.
Quote given to the New York Post. We've been talking for a while about their women's tag division and how it's non-existent. How the NXT women's roster has more depth than the main rosters. At what point does Triple H, now that he's supposedly the one in charge, at what point does Triple H either reevaluate the women's division and begin forming some legitimate teams? Because it's going to take some time to put some women together, find out what clicks, build legitimate teams. Or does he just completely get rid of the belts altogether? I'm going to go to Meacham first. As a man who is a heavy proprietor of women's wrestling, used to help run a women's league out here in SoCal. Wild. Look it up for those of you that have never heard of it before.
It's good stuff.
What would you do if you were Triple H in this situation, sir?
He did the right thing by putting it on Ronda and Shayna first. Now people are going to debate that in the chat room, I'm sure, and that's fine. But Ronda and Shayna, I think, now that the bells are gone, now that Sasha/Mercedes couldn't seem to stay in the company long enough when she was made tag team champion, and now that it seems like Bayley and her team are going to split up, Dakota's hurt again, poor thing, and Io and her and Bayley are just kind of what they are. I think Ronda and Shayna are the last legitimate main roster tag team they can go with. Now, they did draft Isla and Alba to the main roster. Isla, I will call Isla.
As well as Katana and Kaden.
So there are teams up there, but Ronda makes a very valid point. And when you put that in the headline, I thought you were talking about the shallowness of their personality. So I'm glad that was not the case, because I didn't see that post on the New York Post until that graph popped up. So I'm glad that I didn't look into it, because I had a completely different mindset to talk about this. And when you cleared it up, it's like, okay, good. I got to change on the fly, which I like. I like not to be able to have to cultivate, because you're getting my reaction to it right here, right now. She's right. The entire division is not deep at all. It's very, very kiddie pool sized on singles and tags. So at least the ones they're actually developing. Now, if you look at the roster that WWE has of superstars, period, both genders have a lot of people that are not getting near enough the proper development or TV exposure time. We've gone back and forth on this show about Dana Brooke quite a bit. I think there's potential in Dana Brooke. Emma, we're going to talk about her in a little bit, her and Moss. But Emma's been back for a lot longer than people realize. And they haven't done a hell of a whole lot with her other than put her in that dreaded main event show.
Yeah.
So there isn't a lot of depth, but there's also even fewer spots in that deep end of the pool for the Sharks to truly swim into and survive. You've got, and again, Noah and his world famous phrase, brand split LOL. We've got Raw people competing for the SmackDown title and vice versa the other night. The biggest thing with WWE across the board, not just the women's division, is consistency in booking and presentation. The women's division has fallen off of that cliff so hard, you better call Wile E. Coyote, hire an Acme team to catch those broads when they fall off that cliff. That's
still going to fail.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because we went from 2015 and Stephanie McMahon calling out those 3 ladies from NXT to 2023 and not even thinking about talking about Evolution pay-per-view number 2, because why? Why do we need one? We don't. They've not evolved. They've devolved in terms of presentation and awareness. I did forget to bring up Chelsea and Sonya. That's my bad, because they are a legitimate team now, and I love them to pieces.
Yeah,
I don't like saying the K word around Noah too much, because then he gets a little twitch going when you talk about J and K over on AEW. So don't want to cause a man to have a spasm. We're getting ready to call a pay-per-view. So to be fair, but ain't they great? Anyway, but hey, he had to sing it though, because they didn't win the tag titles, much to our chagrin. JJ Williams, not JJ Jarrett. Sorry, my bad. Sorry.
Really quickly, thank you to Arlene for the $10 super chat. We are now at $44 out of 50. We only need $6 more, and Josh will sing Taylor Swift.
There you go, kids.
There you go.
A little bit of variety show already, and we're not even doing a theme night tonight. So, yeah, Chelsea, again, I was not sold on Chelsea when they first came back and they were doing the legitimate Karen gimmick where I want to talk to the manager and all that stuff. And I think it came too late in the day. If they'd done that when that terminology first started being used, it'd have been gobbled up and people would have loved it. Now it's kind of like Chelsea's better than this, and we know she is. She's done better on the Indies. She's been a better character and Impact. But pairing her with Sonya, who is also a disgruntled employee that wants to deal with management because she got kicked out of management, it was a great pairing. Should they have won the tag title match? No. Ronda and Shayna winning was the right move. Thank you for the $1, Ryan. Appreciate it. But you've got Ronda, Shayna. You've got Sonya and Chelsea. You've got Katana and Kate. When Indy returns, you can put her and Candice together. That way you didn't deal with Candice by herself at any of the time. It's a tag team, so it'll be okay for JJ. Not have to deal with her so much.
No, but then I'm not going to like seeing Indy on my screen. And after the whole thing with her winning the title at Stand and Deliver and her exit out of NXT, I want to cheer for Indy Hartwell.
I know you do.
But if she's with Candice, I can't, because fuck Candice.
Yeah.
There's another $2 for Josh.
Hey, at least one of the people in the world's cutest tag team still has a job and can still a job in wrestling, because at least she didn't get herself in too much trouble.
You know what?
No, I do know what, because I'm sick of hating on Candice because of what happened off screen, and we can't just let it be.
You must move on from the past.
You show me the papers where any charges were filed against that gentleman.
I know.
And I'll stop giving shit to Candice LeRae.
To be fair, I have stopped giving shit on the air to Joey until tonight.
And I don't usually give that much shit to Candice either, but
I think
couple days I feel like I kind of reverted. I'm not gonna lie.
I think both of them should be judged on their talent in the ring, not on their merit of character or lack thereof from either side. Let him sing. All right.
Okay,
all right.
Josh, wait.
I know.
Let's get through this topic at least. Yeah. So yeah, they have several talented women that are already have been in a group or could be a team. So Is it shallow? Yes, the division is shallow, but I think there's still potential to build. So no, don't scrape it all together. Just take the time, cultivate it, nurture it, let it grow into something better than it has. And yes, Elizabeth, I did change clothes for a reason. I only wore the Punk stuff during the first segment because we were talking about Punk, and I promised I would wear a Punk shirt if they brought him back. So not wearing it next week. It's too damn hot and clingy in that shirt. So. Or 2 weeks, whatever it is.
2 weeks.
Who else? Let's talk about the women's tag division.
Thing is, I partially I don't like how Ronda usually puts stuff, because see, Dylan, this was my favorite song when I was in 6th and 7th grade. So just
I'm gonna get my cane to Ovaltine. I'll be right back.
Damn it, Meacham.
You're welcome. But
oh, good God.
Because normally whenever I hear Ronda saying
Right.
something or reading something, I read in her obnoxious, annoyed, for lack of a better term, Karen heel voice.
Her world.
But to be fair, the fact that she specifically wanted this team to do this for the tag division, we give her a lot of shit in general for being Ronda Rousey. Her first year, she was good in the ring, then she sort of fell off. I give her credit for wanting to do this, to try and give back to the business, to try and build this up again. Just like when she lost to Liv Morgan. She wanted to do that for Liv. So, I think Ronda and Shayna, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what they're going to do. Because I think Ronda will make sure that things get, built back up. Stephanie's not there anymore to guarantee it. I will say this, in the past, when Triple H took over, women's division was still good. Stephanie left, and things started looking a bit wonky.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Stephanie was a bulwark and defender and protector. Say what you want about her. You can say what you want about her, but that's what she was. And now Ronda is sort of trying to take that upon herself with her mainstream credibility. So I say, go for it. I'm excited. Let's go. I'm excited for the tag teams. You don't need a fancy tag team name. So either way, let's go.
Okay. So first thing I have to jump into on this is, you said we give Ronda a hard time. Who is this we you're speaking of?
Yeah, really. There's not,
because I know
fans in general.
I know pretty much everyone in this room except for you is diehard Ronda Rousey fans.
Yep.
I mean, I like Ronda, but I'm not like their persona. I know the internet likes to give Ronda a hard time.
Okay.
I'm saying we as in general wrestling fans shit on Ronda. Not us specifically.
Graphic, please.
Fuck.
And what is wrong with Ronda's heel persona? She's the baddest woman on the planet. She shouldn't be coming out smiling, barefoot in an apron, getting ready to whip up dinner for her man. She needs to be the baddest bitch out there. Ever since she came back, she did not want to be single women's champion. She wanted to be in the tag division with Shayna. They didn't let her do that. They gave her the women's title. Then they had Liv take it from her and they gave it back to her. And she didn't want that. She wanted to do this. Now she's finally getting to do this. And everyone wants to shit on the fact that, oh, why has Ronda got to have a title? I'm so tired of Ronda. You want to bring some legitimacy to these titles? You give them to two legitimate bad bitches. Ronda Rousey and a woman who should have been champion, pushed like crazy at this point already, Shayna Baszler.
Amen.
Now you've got to come up with women that are tough enough, pun intended, to actually defeat these bitches. The only non-legitimate team that I could think of that is actually strong enough to stand toe-to-toe with them is a woman who is connected to the bloodline and hasn't been seen on TV in God knows how long, Tamina Snuka, and the woman who got jobbed out in less than 2 minutes on Saturday, Natalya.
Former tag team champions.
I have their shirt.
They haven't been together in God knows how long.
Right. 2 years.
But you look at the actual legitimate female teams, none of them are worthy to go toe-to-toe with Ronda and Shayna. Katana and Kaden? No. Alba and Isla? No. The Karens? No. They're all great teams, don't get me wrong. But can't none of them teams stand toe-to-toe legitimately with Ronda and Shayna?
No. But Alba could pull their spooky shit.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty deadly, maybe, but that's a whole other can of worms right there.
That's fair. You know what, though? Somebody earlier brought up having Rhea and Dom get together and go after the men's tag titles. Hell, pretty good to go after the women's tag titles. We're all inclusive in this bitch. Why not?
Oh, God.
Fuck it.
Intergender.
I like Anthony's thought.
But he didn't super chat it, so he should be directed.
Sorry.
It's on topic.
No, I know that.
It's not off topic. So.
And it's on topic, which means you'll get to it eventually if you're allowed to, produce the show and host the show.
And at the end of the day, Safet's right. Ronda's comments is basically the same shit that Sasha and Naomi said.
Yeah, give it like 2 months, she'll be out of the WWE.
But
You think Sasha was bad?
No, but the difference is, though, Ronda said it after she got what she wanted. She wanted to be a tag champion with Ronda. She got her way, so she's not going to take her ball and go home like Mercedes and Trinity did. At least not yet.
My point, yet.
But again, she's had opportunity to get away from the cameras, away from TV, have perspective, start a family, and she's come back. Has her run been the greatest comeback run that we all possibly could be? No, it hasn't, because she's not been doing what she wanted to do. She didn't want to come back and win the Rumble and go after the title and regain the title. She came back because she wanted to be with Shayna, and it took them over a year to get them back in that groove, which, she's in that groove now. Was their match at WrestleMania what it was? Yeah, it was ridiculous. She should have not won it with not doing anything. But she did do something in the match where they actually won the title. So I'm okay with Ronda being back. I'm okay with Ronda and Shayna being a team. I don't think she's going to bail on it now that it's happened. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll sing, some goofy ass song on here as a bet or something, whatever. But I don't necessarily think that not everybody's going to have the same approach to things. And Ronda, first and foremost, is somebody that shows that once she commits to something, she'll do it. And she only this is going a little bit further into the weeds here, but it's on topic. Ronda only left the UFC when she did after the match, the loss to Holly, and then the loss in the title match that she got against Nunes, because her head got so far thrown out of whack because she wasn't used to losing. She was used to going in there and whooping that ass. And she got flustered enough where it messed with her mental state. Protect your mentality, right, Foster? And at the same time, her path to leaving WWE the first time started. The genesis was at Survivor Series. I'll say it till I die. Sitting in that crowd going, WrestleMania is it, because her own people turned on her. And this time, there's not been that complete backlash against her, because people realize that she's capable. So.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's one of those things where they've always had a problem with this division.
No, I get you.
One has already one team in and of its own has left, took their ball, went home, and went somewhere else individually. So it's like it could happen with Ronda. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. It's not something where everybody thinks that Ronda's this like selfish person, excuse me. It's like she's not. She's selfish in what she wants, which is selfless because she wants the whole division to thrive. It's a lot like Sasha in that regard. So she's going to be in a situation where if this division isn't where it needs to be in 6 months or a year, she very well may take her ball and go home. Because what was the point? I just spent a year and for what? And it's going to be a blessing and a curse for her if it does happen, because then she'll realize, oh, wait, it wasn't the fans. It actually was kind of the writing and the booking. And she'll stop shitting all over people for no reason, even though some of it's legitimate, some of it isn't. And it's really the booking. It comes down to the freaking booking, right? And this division has been plagued with bad booking since its inception, both times in the 40-year history of this company. So, jumping bomb angels aside. But yeah, that's my thought.
Hey, don't forget the Glamour Girls.
That is true. Glamour Girls were pretty good too.
Leilani and Judy, man. Hey now.
That's true.
Managed by Jimmy Hart, who is still 40 years old from 30 years ago.
That's true.
All right.
I'm sorry.
All right. Before we move on to the next topic, we have hit the threshold. So Josh needs to sing.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to do the Joe Hendry thing also, since we're pausing for the singing portion.
There you go.
With your permission, Josh, I'd like to go ahead and go first, just because we know you sing better than I do, so you can redeem us from this bullshit. Plus, I made a bet a week ago, so mine kind of needs to be paid off before yours.
Yeah.
I was going to suggest you going first anyways, my friend.
All right. So let me bring up Joe Hendry's theme on my phone just so I can actually have the melody in the background to do this thing proper. God help me. I can't believe I'm doing this bullshit.
Just hope that Cody fulfills his end of the story bar, because you don't have to actually start believing in this dude.
But you know what? After seeing that video that I sent in the group chat, and I don't know if everybody watched it. I know Noah did. That was funny fucking shit. And if all of his shit can be like that, then it'd be real easy for me to start supporting him. Because him doing his take of Keith Whitley's When You Say Nothing at All was priceless. And just running the city into the ground also. It was good. So
yeah.
All right. I have to try to not look at the video screen as I do this, because his facial reactions are just so corny. I'm a fall out. I'm not lying there, Noah.
Of course not.
All right, I'm gonna leave this screen so I can go to the lyrics. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to see your guys' reactions. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mute y'all too, so that you guys' laughing doesn't distract me. And I can try to get this done. Sweet Jesus, help me. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Because I live in London, Paris, and Tokyo. America, Scotland, and Canada. And Mexico, they say, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Guitar solo. Wave your hands from side to side and say, oh, I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is so prestigious. Wave your hands from side to side and say, oh, I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is the prestigious one.
Man.
Okay.
Good man. Good man. Well done, JJ. See, that wasn't so bad. Now was it?
It was way worse than I anticipated. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes!
Guitar solo.
Even said guitar solo.
I said that just so people would understand why there was like dead air. Like I didn't want for anyone who didn't know, like, you know, Dylan here. I don't know who you're singing about, but it's Utter Beauty.
It's
like, so
it's
anybody that didn't know the theme song, I wanted them to understand why I wasn't saying anything. So that's why I did the whole guitar solo.
Guitar solo.
And just
Well,
kind of
first off,
bobbed my head to it.
let me just say this. Respect. Secondly, because I know I didn't say anything, for those that are wondering, I'm writing notes for Dominion. I hope Ronda is right. I hope Ronda and Shayna can finally bring this division to light. It's not going to happen overnight, but at this point, Triple H, this is your last chance. Simple as that. Anyway, good job, JJ. Respect.
Thank you, thank you. I'm a man of my word, if nothing else.
Same.
Granted, I think it would have been more enjoyable for everyone to hear you sing My World than for me to sing that.
That ain't happening.
But I don't say never.
Oh, you want me?
Don't say never. We still have wrestling karaoke next year. Someone could just pinpoint it.
Yeah, right. You want to try that beforehand. Try and get somebody to super chat $100 and see what happens.
Remember, I already had you sing Sexy Boy, Noah. And I have something
that
planned
was
for
during
you.
tax season. I know you're broke as a joke. All right?
And I have something already planned for Disney karaoke for you.
Josh can't
Nothing
be that.
happened in November on that fucking. You know what? Just sing your Taylor Swift and go to bed.
Josh can't be that broke, Noah. He super chatted $10 towards his own ability to sing tonight.
He did. He did.
Oh, Noah, you're screwed.
All right. Josh,
All right, Josh, go ahead.
Let's get it.
You're on the phone with your girlfriend. She's upset. She's going off about something that you said.
Right.
He doesn't get your humor like I do. I'm in the room. It's a typical Tuesday night. I'm listening to the kind of music she doesn't like. And she'll never know your story like I do. But she wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts. She's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers, dreaming about the day when you wake up and find that what you're looking for has been here the whole time. If you could see that I'm the one who understands you, been here all along, so why can't you see you belong with me? You belong with me.
All right.
Is it over? And cringing and laughing and cringing. Is it good? Or is it over?
No, you're good,
over.
James. You're good.
Okay.
And now James will sing Peaches from the Mario movie for a $5 super chat.
No!
Let's move the fuck on.
Dylan says, but Josh couldn't put that $10 towards a CM Punk shirt or singing lessons.
Hey, hang on. Josh is a singer in a choir. He does very well for himself. To be fair, he's trying to sing Tay-Tay. Like, give him a break, brother. God.
I was gonna say, Josh's singing is probably the best singing we have on the show.
It
is. As far as the five of us.
Yeah.
But the $10 towards the CM Punk shirt or to a Micha Multiverse of Mania shirt, I'll co-sign on that part of the deal.
Yeah.
But the singing lessons, Dylan, I think you're a little bit wrong for that one. Josh is a decent singer.
As somebody who uses his voice the best he can at church every Sunday morning and hasn't had a real singer voice since 8th grade, Boo Withers Lean on Me, because all I do is rant and yell about professional wrestling. Damn it! But I digress.
Yeah. And here's
Josh,
something else. And here's something else you might rant and yell about, Noah, because while you were looking off screen, Arlene said, challenge accepted, Noah. Emmanuel said, and I will drop $100.
Fuck off. It ain't happening. Fuck off.
And Daniel says, unless I save Noah on Disney karaoke night.
No, Noah, do you know why it'll happen at Wrestling Karaoke next March? Because you all live in my world.
Dylan says it's all in good fun, so I digress.
Yes.
And JJ, I will buy a Multiverse of Meacham shirt here soon when we also finally get some Mansfield merch, like we were talking about the other night, the ideas we were putting up.
Oh, so you're about your own stuff first instead of supporting the channel just because your stuff isn't up there. Okay, all right.
No, I will buy a Meacham shirt first.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll buy one of mine. And Daniel, I don't know any Muppet Treasure Island stuff.
That's okay. Nobody should. It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm a diehards Muppets fanatic. I can't see anything from Muppet Treasure Island.
No. And if
that's
you
honestly one of the worst Muppet movies that they ever did, and that's sad considering it's got Tim Curry as Long John Silver.
Yeah. If anybody genuinely knows and can sing properly a song from Treasure Island or Muppets from Space, you are more far gone than JJ or I, and that is a scary place to be, for real. Because Muppets Space has Hollywood Hogan. I don't even like that damn movie. So.
And
James,
David Arquette.
I see
Two
James.
WCW World Champions. Yes, James.
I acknowledge you, James.
Hi. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for encouraging me.
Okay, I got some breaking news here.
Here we go.
So this is in regards to AEW All In. And by the way, I called this shit. Currently, the tickets sold for All In are about 65,350, which would be more tickets sold than all but a handful of shows in history. The actual number of tickets would likely be closing in on 70,000 by the end of next week.
I mean, we saw, and again, this is kind of being introduced into the thing without but yeah, it's whatever. But we saw that 65, that 60 number go up really early, and they still haven't announced a match yet. So
that's the crazy thing.
They
start announcing matches. They very well may sell out.
They should. They absolutely should. And again, money being what it is and where I'm looking to be, next March and April, I would go to Wembley if I didn't need a passport, and everything else, because it looks like it's going to be a fun week. So,
sure.
But anyway, I digress. We now return you to the non-karaoke /slinging portion of Open Mic Night, courtesy of JJ and Josh's beautiful renditions of Joe Hendry and Taylor Swift songs. May Cody Rhodes finish the story, so JJ just had to believe in damn Joe Hendry, because damn. Anyway, there we go.
And Emmanuel says that he can drop $100 because really he doesn't buy anything for himself unless it's important.
Oh, then be frugal and save your damn money. Take care of a freaking utility. Take your kid on a damn amusement park ride. Go eat at the damn Mario restaurant or some shit like that. Go spend your money on something more worthwhile than that.
Mario restaurant.
But you're worthwhile, Noah.
Shut up, Josh.
You are worthwhile.
Yeah.
Why?
You're a simple,
Because we
sexy
like
man.
you.
We do like you. We like you, Noah. You will sing, Noah.
Now it's time to go back to the topics that are here. Double J Williams, not Jarrett, wants to keep going so we can finish by Dominion.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes, thank you, Meacham.
You're welcome.
So, The next topic on the agenda, sticking with the WWE side of things, is one that's been referenced a couple times in the chat room. We paid our respects to those that are expecting.
Yes. Oh man.
We now need to give a little bit of love to Emma and Riddick Moss on their engagement. When she posted these pictures, Emma said, "I said yes 1,000,000 times in my head before you even asked." And then, in addition to that, the Nigerian giant Omos married his longtime girlfriend this week as well.
Yeah. Shout out to Homo sapiens. Let's go.
Right. Damn, look how tiny she is. Jesus.
So freaking small.
I feel like I'm looking at Stokely Hathaway next to the Big Show.
That's the funniest shit ever. I don't care what you all say.
That was so good because one of our friends on a different channel was talking about how they must have Paul White walking way back to make him look that intimidating over Stokely. I'm like, it's probably why they set the camera shot up like that because Paul's so goddamn big.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, good. Like again, there's babies in the air, there's love in the air, and it's not even February. JJ, I love it.
I agree. I love it.
I won't deny. That's good stuff.
Congrats to the Almas and to Riddick Moss and Emma.
Yeah.
Tornado, I forget which show it is that you have to go back to, but Noah has already sang With My Baby Tonight by Double J. That's why the bet was between Joe Hendry and My World, because he hasn't done that one yet.
Let's fucking stop talking about singing and get back to the ideas of family and wrestling, okay?
Yes.
The Jarretts are a very prominent family in wrestling.
Both couples.
Yes.
Tornado, one of the ones that we starred earlier, says that he's seen that Moss and Emma got engaged.
Yeah, man.
Matthew brought it up as well. Speaking of Emma, congrats to Emma and Moss's engagement.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think a hell of a wedding present would be putting her and Dana as a tag team and getting a tag title shot. But that's just me. I don't know.
I agree, Jeff. Sorry.
You right.
Again, tying the topics in together. It's again. There's a lot of depth there. But again, if they're going to be off, having babies and getting married and planning weddings and stuff, there's not going to be a whole lot of people left in the company. Period. At this point. Jesus. Oh. No, not Grumpy Noah. Focus Noah. We're getting ready to call a pay-per-view here at the bottom of the night. So
I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. I'm more than focused.
I was gonna say Noah is the type of guy that, and we discussed this a little bit on the Simple Take earlier. He's calm. He's mild-mannered. He's got this demeanor about him. But if you poke him on the right topic, it's like one of those little wind-up monkeys. You just turn it, let it go, and Karen Jarrett does it to him. To a lesser extent, Jeff Jarrett does it. And for whatever reason, Karaoke for Disney seems to be getting him to do it as of late.
We need to see Karen Jarrett come out on Dynamite wearing football gear, singing karaoke.
Jesus Christ, we're gonna break Noah and with you guys. Seriously, it's terrible.
What? With football here?
Well, yeah, because we're actually talking about Noah watching hockey soon, Josh, not football. So that's
it's
okay. No, that was a Josh, not you. But yeah, no. What we need to do is make sure that wind up toy you're talking about, Jay, sounds like us.
Woo!
Dun 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 dun. dun.
All right. So
I'm not amused in the slightest. Keep
Where's the Thunder graphic? Where's the Thunder graphic? I ask you.
The face before. That's what I was thinking immediately.
All right.
I can't laugh this hard. My neck hurts. I think that's not doing the job. Jesus.
before we get to the main event.
Oh God! I
Before we
laughed
get-
so hard, puke's coming out my nose.
Okay, we'll go off camera and take care of that shit.
Yeah,
Jesus.
sorry, bro.
Before we get to the main event, we've just been discussing the love in the air in the WWE. We're going to take a moment. We're going to run this short trailer of what is coming up on the OMN specials.
Yes.
Yeah.
Including, but not limited to, Clash of the Couples.
Ooh.
Check this out.
Pyramid Legal Price is Right. What the hell?
Okay, so again, for Price is Right, we're not going to be doing the games that hinge on like physical, like we can't bring a Plinko board inside one of the studios. It's not going to work so well.
No, it doesn't.
But we were thinking like clock game, grocery game, where they go to like guess how much the prices are without going over on the cash register, shit like that.
Pathfinder,
And even-
Secret X. Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
playing a couple of classic pricing games, show somebody an item and how much is this without going over.
Right.
I mean, that's Contestants Row, JJ.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, right. That's what's going to be is the Contestants Row stuff, and the reason we're doing that in January is why, JJ?
Because of Drew Carey and his participation in the Royal Rumble, which got him a WWE Hall of Fame induction.
That's right.
Okay.
And because Bob Barker was the greatest Raw guest host in the history of Raw guest hosts. I didn't say what the hell I said.
I agree.
Who would your pick, BJ?
The Muppets or Pee Wee Herman?
I will definitely. You know what? The Muppets one was fun. I'll definitely agree with that. And of course,
I mean, the Muppets one gave us Beaker and Sheamus on the same screen together. We knew that they weren't the same person all of a sudden.
true. And Betty White being there was
Sheamus
good too.
freaking straightening Beaker's hair out was just classic.
So, Daniel, the reason Password was not chosen, I'll go ahead, since he's a paid member, I'll go and acknowledge him off screen there, but is because it was too much like Lingo and Hangman, and we were trying to figure out how to do Password without letting the people on screen hear it, because the gimmick of Password is have you guys at home know what the password is. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like if we put it on screen, everybody's going to see it, and they have a chance to see it on stage. So yeah, but if we figure out how to do the logistics of Password, proper Jeopardy, things like that, that'll be next year. But we've had Beach Party in the queue for a minute. We were just figuring until next summer, since we've got this entire year pretty much already booked out. Even through WrestleMania, we've got it booked out now. So,
and the only way I could think of to do Password really quickly before we go to the main event would be if everybody here agreed to go to the private chat window.
Right.
And then the password got put in the public chat.
Yeah. As long as people can see on the honor system, I'm okay with that. But, it's just, yeah.
Like
and also, Clash of the Couples is still being finalized. I haven't got a commitment from one couple officially because they tend to hem and haw around confirming, but I do have two of the couples confirmed. So,
I mean, in worst comes to worst, we could always just do two couples.
We could. I just
traditionally it's a three couple thing, but
right.
Worst comes to worst, couple versus couple.
Well, hell, match game's going to be three panelists instead of six because it's just going to take too goddamn long with six people on the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Yes,
Josh.
Which thing is this for?
The one we're talking about is for Clash of the Couples game night. It's our version of Newlywed Game, but nobody in the room is a newlywed. So
Okay, I was gonna say I haven't heard of it before, but we can always just make up a couple.
The whole point of us pitching that in our chat was not, you weren't part of that chat, so I'm telling you, was since we don't have newlyweds or people that have just started dating or engaged, we do have three either married or long-term couples. I'll be straight with you. At the heads of the networks, JJ, Greg, and Aaron. I don't have one of those couples confirmed yet. I'm not gonna say which one. I'm not gonna throw people under the bus, nor is anybody else. But if I get that third couple confirmed, we'll go with 3. If not, we'll stick with the 2. It really doesn't matter to me. I just, the idea of the Jeff Meacham Network having a clash between the 3 heads of the affiliated member networks was a cool thing for me. So
Gotcha. That sounds like a cool idea.
If we can make up couples like Josh is saying, and then Natalia Markova, where you at?
Right?
Okay, there you go.
He wants to get Natalia Markova on the
That's
show.
right.
Oh,
Hey, you know what, James? If we do the dating game, I will make a phone call.
Okay.
I was just going to
Go
say
for
I
it.
would try and get Maddie, but
Either that. Wow, that happened right now in a moment. Josh came out on the air and everything. Look at him. Anyway,
right.
kidding.
dating game or love connection with Chuck Wooler, and I probably get Chuck Wooler. He probably works cheap now. So yeah. That's terrible. That was mean.
Daniel says next October someone might sing "Don't Fear the Reaper" or "Dream Warriors."
You need cowbell
Hey,
for that,
you know
Daniel.
what though? Karaoke sounds like it's fun. I suck we had to wait a year, but it just worked with having that be a game night this year. So.
Yeah.
All right, this key and pad's not working. It's pissing me off.
All right, so it is now time for the main event.
Wow.
Everyone put those ones up.
That's right, everybody.
Noah?
No, I ain't gonna do it.
As yesterday, Roman had his celebration as 1,000 days as champion.
Come on, Noah.
If James can acknowledge
Bro,
him,
if booking aside, we gotta give him his props, bro. Come on.
At least you're not double J strutting across the screen yet.
We will stay here until you do this, Noah.
Speak for yourself, man. I'm old as shit. I can't hold this.
Yeah, I dare.
I'm older than you.
Yeah, I know, but I can't.
But I'm only doing. I'm only going to do this because I know we're on a time clock here.
Yay!
Never happening again.
I mean, say what you will, but the man joins some pretty illustrious company.
Just in WWE, yes.
And Hogan.
Pitt.
Yeah, wait. Oh, yeah. Hey, he is illustrious, though. Just because he was an idiot doesn't mean he's not illustrious.
Oh, my God. Let JJ host the show.
Arguably, Hogan is the greatest champion until Roman that, I was alive for.
Yep.
Everyone can argue Rocky, everyone can argue Cena, everyone can argue Austin, everyone can, but the numbers don't lie.
Nope.
That is true.
And for as much as people want to crap on Roman and being part-time, not defending it all the time, how many of those other men defended the belt on a weekly or even monthly basis?
Not many.
Um,
How many of those men had to be on TV on a weekly basis?
TV is definitely a factor when it comes to comparing the other guys, absolutely. But as far as
but that's the point I'm trying to get to.
Yes.
Is Hogan was the only one with any real kind of legitimate television during his run. And even then, during that 1474 run, there was no Raw. There was Saturday night's main event, maybe a wrestling challenge. There wasn't a weekly television show. There wasn't monthly pay-per-views.
No.
Yeah.
Roman has done it in an era where it's virtually impossible to do it. And that is what makes it so special.
And it averages out to about 40 days per defense, so good on him.
Yeah, and something I pointed out today when we were doing the simple take before you joined, James. Roman has been champion for 1,000 days now, 1,007, I think the actual total is as of today, and has had 28 successful defenses with that title.
Yeah, that's more than everybody else.
Hold on.
Era.
Orange Cassidy, as of Sunday, has had 23 successful defenses with his international title, hasn't even been champion a year yet.
Yeah.
Granted, not the same level as a world championship.
No.
I'll give you, but definitely working harder than the tribal chief.
Yes.
Some people would say that makes him better. Some people would subscribe to work smarter, not harder.
I like the MJF philosophy and the Roman philosophy. There you go.
And then, of course, last night, Triple H came out and presented us.
Oh, boy.
Well, hold on. Before we get to that, before we show the title belt, there's the merchandise that we said was coming.
Wow.
The whole purpose of getting to this. 3 new shirts dropped yesterday prior to SmackDown, plus a tracksuit that said 1,000.
That third one's actually pretty good looking. I ain't going to hold you. That looks pretty good.
Honestly, I like all of them. I like the 1,000 with the one finger up.
Yep.
I like the Roman Reigns underneath it with the 1,000 in the middle. And then I like the acknowledge your tribal chief.
Yeah, I've got the one in the middle in my queue for the cards. I'm waiting waiting for payday, baby.
I have the acknowledge your tribal chief one.
Oh, nice. There you go.
In
I'm
triple X
I'm saving money.
and large.
As you should.
I know
yes.
A certain 14-year-old that is going to want that shirt.
That is pretty cool.
But then, now we'll go ahead and get to what Josh has been patiently waiting for.
Yes, God bless him for staying up with us.
Yes, Triple H came out to kick off the celebration and told us that he was about to present Roman with a new championship. And this is what he gave us. Now, before I unleash Josh.
Yes.
I don't mind this belt. I like the gold as opposed to the red or the blue. My fault in this is Triple H's wording.
Yep. Again.
A new championship. It's the same belt, just a different color.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like spicy mustard. Just saying.
That's an insult to spicy mustard.
Damn. Jeez, guys.
I need Noah's sunglasses for this.
I got sunglasses too.
Originality. Right.
I'm the only one that likes it, I guess. I guess I'm in the minority here.
Like I said, I don't mind the look of it. It's the wording. It's saying that he's unleashing a new championship belt, and it's the same belt but a different color.
Yeah. Again, Hunter's wording for something related to Triple H, or something, or Triple H's wording related to something to Roman bites us in the ass, because the Raw title became the secondary title by the way he worded it. Even though Seth's going to be a hell of a champion, he's already facing Damian Priest on Monday, which wow. Cool for Priest to get a world title shot on television. That's awesome. But then it's a new belt. It's not. It's a new color. And, you can pull up Roman and go, pardon me, do you have any Grey Poupon when you talk to him? But, yeah, the wording's shit. And, yes, I'm looking forward to the Rodoti review tomorrow and see what Rich has to say about the new championship and how SmackDown played out at the end, too. Definitely curious about the most controversial man, No DQ, and his thoughts on last night.
Josh, as I sit here sipping my cinnamon roll, the floor is yours.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, before I go into the Fruity Pebble bullshit, let me just say, Roman Reigns, congratulations, 1,000 days. Acknowledge you, I'm still not buying your shirt. Oh well, deal with it. The storyline after the, again, Fruity Pebble bullshit was tremendous. I thought they should have gone after Jimmy and Jay, but I had this feeling Solo walking over there, just looking at him. He kept looking over to Jimmy and kept moving his right hand. I felt it coming a mile away, unfortunately. But it's still beautiful. It's still going to be great when they finally finish all this up in the next couple months. I thought they needed to do Jimmy and Jay to speed things up a bit, but it's what it is. They might do that a little quicker at Money in the Bank. Don't know. So, that out of the way, back to the Fruity Pebble bullshit. I'm sorry, but that does not scream 1,000 days as champion. That little thing just screams consolation prize. Especially when it's right out there with the other two belts that look exactly the fucking same. I'm sorry, but can we not do the whole John Cena series here with the belts? Just like I'm saying Fruity Pebbles because, like when Rock went off on Cena, with all his different Fruity Pebble shirts, that's what we're getting now with this? You're saying this is for the new championship belt? It's not a new belt. It's the same fucking stupid design that doesn't look good, but just a new color. Like, come on. It's stupid. You got us all excited, and you're giving us that? Like,
That's stupid. You're stupid. Shut up.
See, here's the thing, too. They probably knew that was going to happen, because right after they did that, Usos came out. And when Triple H took that, cover off the title, you could hear boos. You could audibly hear boos on that belt. And I don't blame them. Why they decided to do that, I don't know. They should have learned their fucking lesson with the stupid red Universal crap. The same as with WWE. Stop making all your titles look the same. It's stupid. Like, if you're going to make a new championship belt to celebrate 1,000 days, you need to make it with the new design. And just... You'd think the Triple H would know this and realize it, considering he had 9 reigns with the WWE title with 4 different designs. Like, come on. So, like I said, I hope that this is just a Roman Reigns 1,000 days belt, and then once Cody gets a hold of it, it goes bye-byes. That's my thought. I mean, heck, I could have drawn up a better belt than that. So, it really made the whole segment underwhelming for me. I'm not going to lie. Congratulations with the actual story, yes. Separating the two, story was great. Leaving the whole title bullshit in there, But that's it.
So Josh called it the Fruity Pebbles title. I have a method. I mean, if you guys want to share my screen real quick, I can change it colors. You want to do that?
Here's well, if you're loading that, it's.
Here we go.
Okay, I guess we're actually going to do that then.
Okay. Do we want to go back to the Blue Universal? We got it. It's a little bit brighter, but it works out. Wait, hold on. We'll go back to the filter here. Hold on. Let's go back to red. Where's red? It's a little pinkish. Let's make that contrast brighter. Oh wait, no, darker. I don't know.
Is that the new women's mid-card title right there?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're going back to butterfly times.
Oh God. They watch. Don't put that shit in the universe. Goodness gracious.
And then there's a
stop me when I'm lying.
He's not telling lies.
I'll stop you right now.
All right, there we go. It's orange. Who wants a jack-o'-lantern title?
Taz. Anyway.
That's it. Beat me if you can, sir.
I let you.
Oldie but a goodie at the casa. I love it. All right. So for real. Okay. First of all, I'm okay with the color change on the single title because I would prefer more gold looking than mustard. Granted, yes, it does look like a freaking whole splotch of mustard just went. But whatever. Having a singular title, if they're going to actually call him the champion, not holding 2 championships, I'm good with that. My concern now is 2 things. One, which lineage is going to go forward once he ultimately drops it? Actually, 3 concerns. Number 2, Paul did walk away with holding the other 2 titles in his hand, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
So are we keeping those in play? Is Josh right? Is this just a this belt's for Roman situation? Number 2. Number 3, to 2A, I don't think it is because they're selling those things like freaking hotcakes on Shop Zone right now, so probably not. But 3, Josh, you mentioned that they should have focused on where Jimmy's going to be and gone quicker. No, they did that part of it exactly right last night. We don't know where Jay stands. Jay tried to make peace. We got the appearance of peace. Roman said no. Solo had his moment. Hand to God, I wish I had done what I did when Natalie and I were watching Raw a few weeks ago at the house, Jay, and record reactions. Because I yelled out, "No Solo!" right before he spiked Jimmy right in the throat. So we know where Solo stands, at least we think we do for the moment. But I keep getting reminded from this beautiful voice from the north that dwells in the Toronto area. Solo's name indicates everything that he is about. Okay, so there's that. We don't know where Jay stands because Jay has been the most internally conflicted throughout all of this. With Sammy, with his brother, with his cousin, with everybody. Jay's decision is going to be that last little keystone to see the Roman Empire fall and see this final thing go into a full-blown war of a civil war between the Anawahis. But I want to build to that. I want that to be played out. I want that to be SummerSlam, at the very earliest that we get that definitive match between the 2 sides. If we're gonna have what I think we're gonna have, and Cody be the WWE champion at Survivor Series to face World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, which yes please, then the Bloodline storyline can play out at SummerSlam, and then we can get the Usos doing their thing, hopefully on a different brand, and Roman and Solo doing their thing until they fall apart.
Noah, you enjoyed your food over there, buddy?
We got Noah to acknowledge, although briefly. We'll let him speak his piece. He's enjoying his food. He's probably trying to get ready for Dominion because, he's got seriously, we've got like another hour before we got to get our shit and get here. So,
yeah. There we go.
I gave my thoughts. James, we know your thoughts from WrestleMania season, and it's not exactly changed perception wise.
Yeah.
But the belt. There's a comment in there that JJ put up. The performer needs to make the championship. I honestly don't think that the championship belt at this point, especially the world titles held by Roman Reigns, are going to be the determining factor as far as how the belts look. Daniel's got it right. We're in the home stretch of this. Okay. We were in the 3rd inning at WrestleMania. Roman pointed out. JJ's been talking about it the last few days. They are rounding 3rd at this point. They're heading for home. Are we going to get a Ray Fosse slide? Are we going to get a Johnny Bench? Nope, not so much. It's really SummerSlam between now and Money in the Bank and SummerSlam is really going to be good television to watch. Like I said on Simple Take yesterday, which went an extra hour because of my dumb ass being on there.
And Josh's super chat that derailed us.
Which is fine. I had no problem with that because, we were still off the air, but well before SmackDown started for us, Jay, so I was good with it.
That's fair.
Because I couldn't figure out I didn't realize that Fox East Coast doesn't go on the Spectrum app because Spectrum app still hates us. I think Channel 7 at all. Anyway, I think that Oh, I got the next 3 weeks off now because of dealing with this shoulder rehab and everything. So I'm glad I have compelling TV to watch on wrestling nights. That makes my day. And now that we know coming out of Under Siege on the Impact side that we're going to get Deanna and Trinity one-on-one at Slammiversary, I'm going to make it a point to be at my TV 8 o'clock on Thursday nights now too, because I want to see how Slammiversary lines up. I mean, yes, we have Against All Odds. Yes, we have the other shows throughout the summer that we promoted, but I always get a little more hyped up between Slammiversary and Bound for Glory when it comes to Impact. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to how AEW plays out now. Now that we've got confirmation CM Punk is coming back. What does this mean for the company? And now that Roman hit the milestone, now that our prediction we've talked about for over a year, and Virtue, jumped on board with us on the ODQ side of things, that 1,000 Day merch was going to be rolling out like they were printing money, and they are printing money on it. Wrestling's fun to watch, and more important for the five of us and everybody else, it's fun to cover.
Yep.
Not a bad time to be making money on wrestling, kids.
Yeah.
Do that.
Are we acknowledging or putting our hand up, Josh?
Acknowledging.
Very good. Okay.
I got to acknowledge the cool guys. I got to do the ones and the straight. This is weird. This doesn't work.
No. I still do want to get a We the One shirt, though, because we saw more of those out and about the other day than I do anything else. And like I said, I love the whole family, but it was always Rikishi, making me an oos. So it's like, I want to support his boys. And Jimmy and Jay got the We the One shirt. I got one of those in the queue, too. So.
There you go.
Alrighty then.
Wow. Oh, Noah with the loudest burp ever. That was great.
Beautiful, Noah.
Noah doing his TJSing, but still remaining cool and classy while doing it. That's why he does what he does, and he is who he is, folks.
I was going to say,
beautiful man, Noah.
Noah, do you have any comments at this point, or should that be your only comment? Because that's just funny if that's your only comment.
What do you want me to talk about?
Title.
Adrenaline in his soul, something, Noah. Doesn't rhyme. It's okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Well,
no, what?
Golden title brought to you by Frank's Mustard. Okay. Curious what they do with the WWE Championship and the Blue Universal Championship. I mean, heck, if you can combine chocolate and ketchup in the same bottle, I guess you can do gold and black leather together. So there you go.
Oh,
that's
Jesus.
just the world we live in now.
Oh.
Yeah, 1,000 days.
Shoot.
Good for him. I don't know at this point what I feel like when it comes to legacy, because at the end of the day, I give two shits about Tyler's physical appearance in WWE because it's just a big piece of leather with a big W in the middle of it at this point. It comes down to the wording. As soon as he said new, fuck everything. All right, AJ Styles was right in what he said about the big gold Fiora Rocha belt being a consolation prize just because of Triple H's wording on Friday night. Bite me if you think otherwise. I'm waiting to see what happens with the WWE and the Universal Championship before I really give a full assessment. As far as I'm concerned, the golden era of Roman Reigns is still heavily underway. He hit 4 digits, they'll give him a gold belt. If he hits 5 digits, they'll give him a platinum belt. If he hits 6 digits, they'll give him a medal that'll be discovered by science on another planet outside of the Marvel Universe made out of whatever leather on that belt. Wow. I'm just going to see what happens. What more so matters to me is how this storyline goes. At the end of the day, it's not about the match result. It's about the story. The title is just a physical accessory. You get your $1.25 Dollar Tree store near you. So, yeah, it is what it is when it comes to that.
I see both of you with your hands up. I've been quiet through most of this thing because I was doing a little bit of work. I kind of wanted to go back to Josh's point earlier about the titles and
oh god.
Thank you.
Yeah. I rest my case, Your Honor.
She's right. He's right.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And 2 of those are women's titles.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Yep.
I do notice the blue on the women's titles a little bit brighter, and so is the red on the women's title.
Could be the picture too, to be fair.
Those are straight off of WWE Shop.
Right.
Look, we're just waiting for a purple and white strap to be called the Undisputed Universal Women's Championship.
Yeah, there you go.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised, Noah, for real.
Me neither.
But for those of you out there, top row, that's the Raw Women's, SmackDown Women's WWE Championship. Then the bottom row is the red Universal, blue Universal, and the new belt that Triple H just presented.
Right.
So to Josh's point, I mean, there's 6 championships within the company that look virtually identical.
Yes.
Fruity Pebble bullshit.
You can't even be mad at him for that shit, for real.
Right.
Just like you couldn't be mad when The Rock said it to John Cena.
Well,
looking like
okay.
a great big bowl of Fruity Pebbles because, it was truth.
At that time, I could be mad at Rock, but that's a whole other conversation for a whole other night. Couple things. As far as the belts go, they all look the same. It's like people forget who their partner in bed is now. UFC.
Yeah.
How different do UFC belts look from each other? I'll wait.
Yeah, they all look the same. I complain about that shit too, though.
Well, no, I do in that they look exactly the same. So unless you get the announcer, which they do, prolifically, tell you which weight class you're watching, then you have no idea what the hell belt you're testing for. The other thing, chocolate ketchup does exist.
Yep.
Chocolate fry sauce, and they have it primarily at the Hershey Lodge at Leb Kicker's restaurant in Hershey, Pennsylvania, which Dylan wants to go to the Hershey Park as far as part of his trip in April, and now I have to go try this shit.
My fat sensors are tingling.
For real though, yeah. They actually have it. I didn't know it was a thing, and I'm like, now that I see it exist, I have to try it just to see how bad I'm going to barf on my vacation.
And this is how I die. Good night, everybody.
That's right. Here lies Jeff Meacham. He died of chocolate ketchup.
Curiosity causes botulism.
That's good.
Go ahead, James.
I have a joke for you, Noah, and it's for you specifically.
Go for it.
What does Roman Reigns say to you specifically? He always asks everybody to acknowledge him, but what does he say specifically to you to acknowledge you or to acknowledge him?
Uh-oh.
You know what he says?
God damn it, James.
Oh my god!
All right.
That's what Roman was so obvious. You should have seen it.
When Roman does that now.
It was so obvious we should have seen it, but it didn't make it any less funnier and shit.
All right. So,
Take your flowers, James. Take your bow. You done good, buddy. There you go. There you go. Yes. Yes.
At the end of the day, title belt design aside.
Yes.
Congratulations to Roman Reigns for
absolutely.
getting to that milestone.
Yes.
Whether you like him, hate him, like the way he got there, don't like the way he got there.
Right.
He has accomplished something in the modern day, in the modern age, that we never thought we would see again.
No.
And that's getting CM Punk's image back on WWE television.
That's right. And if you can convince
The
any
same
of us,
week that they got CM Punk's image on AEW TV.
Yep. If you can convince any of us that's not a direct correlation, we will acknowledge you. Just saying.
Roman did it as a heel with everyone fucking behind him.
Yeah, exactly. That graphic that was put up, that was referenced by Big G on the post, not a single one of those guys had that run as WWE champion as a heel. Not a one.
That's fair.
Bruno sure as hell didn't. Backlund and Pedro either. And Roman's going to catch Pedro.
Yeah, for sure. He's gonna
Because 1027, I believe, is Money in the Bank.
Yeah, he will pass that by Money in the Bank.
He ain't losing it by Money in the Bank.
No.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen.
Now, whether he gets to Bruno's second reign or not, is still a question mark.
Yeah, that's almost a whole other year. That's a lot. So
I believe that would be Rumble next year.
Yeah,
which
they were
isn't
saying-
impossible if he doesn't. The story doesn't end at the Garden.
Right. Of course, if it doesn't have the Garden, then we're going to have you singing having you acknowledge Joe Hendry, and it's going to be a whole other world up in here.
It won't be my world.
Oh God! Please,
All right.
Cody, save us.
So we're going to take one last commercial break. Then we're going to start getting to the shills.
Yay.
I ask that everybody try to keep it quick as we run through these images so that we can try to get out of here right around the top of the hour.
Okay.
That's part of why I saved this commercial for now, because even though it's a 2-minute commercial, it's everything I've got coming up this month on Renegades Reviews. So that gets rid of a whole lot of shilling.
There we go.
That's right. We're tired of your shit.
I ran out of Oreos.
I ran out of Oreos.
Oh no!
All right, coming back out of that, and
Oh lordy!
really quickly before we get into the shills, I did forget that there was a super chat from Emmanuel. $5.
Thank you, sir.
Bonus topic was the exploding super kick overdoing it or just right. For me, it reeks of desperation from AEW. Let's just go around the horn really quickly, sentence or two. Let's not get into any diatribes on this because we do want to try to get out of here around the top of the hour. For me, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, same.
I thought it was unnecessary. It reminded me of the exploding barbed wire match that they did, but it was funny. I was okay with it, despite the fact that I feel like the Bucks rely too heavily on super kicks these days. Noah, to you.
Well, that's one way to definitely make a shoe hot.
Ah,
Shit.
Don't really have much more to say besides that. Unexpected, but funny.
I enjoyed it. Unexpected but funny. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a little much, but it was a match where you tend to expect a little too much and the unexpected, and I don't think it was as big a deal as people have made it.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I don't think it was that huge of a deal, but
No.
it was kind of like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think people just want to criticize when AEW does the overly deathmatch stuff because of how bad off the explosion came off with Mox and Eddie. So,
which is fair.
Absolutely.
Josh, do you have anything you want to add to that quickly?
So fucking stupid.
All right. There you go.
Kept it to 3 words. I appreciate that.
We acknowledge that. Thank you. That did surprise me. I'm not gonna get too high up Big Dave's ass there, but I was surprised at how well he rated that match. I really was.
Yeah, I don't know why. But yeah, whatever.
I mean, again, his system gets way too much attention. It is his decision. It's not some fucking mathematical equation like Einstein.
I was gonna say, what do we always see on dads, Jeff?
What's that?
Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It is his subjective view of it, but the fact that we tend to know his pattern and he rated that match as high as he did was very surprising.
What was the rating?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I can look real quick while JJ's getting the cues ready.
It wasn't a 5-star, was it?
Well, no.
No, I want to say it was like 4 or 4.5, something like that. Like
Oh.
he gave it a pretty high mark, and the Cole match he gave like 3 or 2.5.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I may be the Meltzer of the multiverse, but I don't defend Meltzer on much or anything. So, just curious. That was all.
That's fair. All right, so I'm gonna start running through these shills here. I am gonna take the name down off of the marquee so that all the graphics can be seen properly. First and foremost, make sure you follow your barkeeps on Twitter at HathawayLou, at LBStatKid1977. Although there will be no show this week, make sure you tune in on Tuesdays for Statboy Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou. The food's hot, the beer is cold, and the seats are warm. So pull up a bar stool and engage with your barkeeps in some professional sports conversation. Josh.
Follow me on Twitter at CatholicJosh122, Instagram, Malamangram, and be sure to check out my latest opinion piece, which we sort of discussed earlier tonight on the new Fruity Pebble bullshit that Triple H revealed last night. And maybe this week look for something new coming out about one of my favorite women's wrestlers of all time, Mrs. Undertaker.
Oh, jeez. Careful, Jay. For the record, it actually did get 5 stars, Jay.
Jesus.
The fuck?
Yeah. Anarchy in the Arena got 5, and Cole and Jericho only got 3 1/4. Matt's got the numbers right in the chat there.
Fatal 4-Way?
Fatal 4-Way got 4 3/4, just
bullshit. Fuck off. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Based on his usual thinking, it's off. But again, he does tend to dine quite a bit on the Tony Teat. So there is that. Yeah, exactly.
He does that to Tony like what I do to Jeff.
Graphic, please.
I'm too far away from it.
God damn it. All right.
There's not enough chapstick in the world for that.
Make sure you follow No DQ's resident Big Baller on TikTok at BigBallerG1988, on Twitter NoDQ.com/BigBallerG, and on Instagram NoDQ_BigBallerG1988. Make sure you follow the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish Mafia, longtime friend of the Multiversa Media, Gino Rivera. For booking inquiries, Gino_Rivera at yahoo.com. On Facebook, first name Gino, last name Told You So. On Instagram and Twitter at Gino Told You So. You can find me, of course, on Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams. On Twitter at ROWJJ Williams. on YouTube, Casa D18 Studios. Thank you to the people that are watching right now on my channel. Thank you to the 6 subscribers I currently have, to the exclusive members only content. Those of you that have subscribed, make sure you go back and you check out the members exclusive watch along coverage that Noah and I did this past Thursday of NXT Battleground. If you are not a member and you would like to see our NXT watch along coverage of Battleground, go and subscribe to the members only section, where not only is that, but in the coming months, we're going to be filming our WrestleMania retro watch along spectaculars that'll begin going live Saturday, February 17th. Every WrestleMania from WrestleMania 1 through 39, leading up to WrestleMania 40.
God help me.
We also have scheduled for next year, for the 25th anniversary of the death of Owen Hart,
Oh shit.
the Over the Edge pay-per-view where the incident occurred. That's going to be an interesting one to revisit. I actually have the Sunday Night Heat that aired prior to this, as well as the entire show. I just have to find online Raw is Owen that we will then do the following day. Lots of good content coming up in the members only section. So again, if you want to get all that content, plus wrestling DVD reviews like I do for Renegades reviews, plus wrestling pay-per-view reviews, subscribe to the members only content. Make sure you guys tune in for Throwback Thursdays every week. We just had week 14 go live this week. We have week 15 going up next week. All that stuff is edited, uploaded, ready to go. James has something he wants to share. Is this from this past weeks that just went live?
Yes,
or
it
this...
is.
Okay.
Yes, and it is funny. So if you like shenanigans like you do on Open Mic Night, you'll love shenanigans on the Indie Force and reliving that crap. So here is a clip from us introing after the intro. It's one of the most bonkers fucking intros ever. Here it is.
Welcome to the Indie Force podcast for nerds, weebs, and dorks of virgin. You got a twofer today, or this week rather, and we got the gang all here. The gang is all here. Oh no.
Oh God. Good shit.
Nikos, buy potato chips. They are good. Nikos, I understand. Hold on. I understand we're in a time of crisis. That does not mean that your ass gets to go back to 1825 and pretend you don't know how a fucking bag works.
Dude, motherfucker acting like the Hoover vacuum.
Man, you just can't blow at the same time. Anyway.
That's Indie Force, baby.
Yeah.
And if you thought that was good, I have 2 little clips that I snippeted actually for this coming week's episodes of Throwback Thursday. Both these clips come from this coming week's Dads on Wrestling, which was post WrestleMania. Check these out.
You know, I have a question for you, Jeff.
Yes.
If Michael Cole ever has a little girl, would she be a coal miner's daughter?
That's a good question. It's a good question.
Damn it! As soon as The Rock came out to start the match, I was oh
worried.
Crap.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
Yep.
Is it going to become a triple threat with The Rock in it and The Rock's going to take the title? Is he going to help the Fruity Pebble? You know, and they could form a tag team of Fruity Cocoa Pebbles?
Ooh.
Fruity.
Shoot his dad's walk off. There it was.
Fruity and Cocoa Pebbles, buddy. Oh boy.
This worked perfectly, JJ. You did it on purpose.
Can we acknowledge Stat Boy wearing his 316 tank top looking like he's wearing a fucking odd 316 apron? Can we talk about that for a minute?
Yeah.
Just a minute. Can I finish, please? Can I talk about that for a second? That was our fashion choices do not reflect those of our current choices back in 2011, but Still funnier than fuck, so it's okay.
Good Lord Almighty.
Woo!
Oh.
I mean, look at he's wearing a freaking cooking apron. He's got the t-shirt underneath it. It's like, I have questions, Mikey. I have questions for you.
Okay.
Anyway,
trying to get back together here. I made this announcement earlier on the Sipple Take. There will be no Warzone tomorrow.
Okay.
Pretty much all I have as of right now is Dollar Tree stuff, and I feel like I beat Dollar Tree into the ground over 6 weeks with all the 50-cent shit.
Right.
You know, granted, prices have gone back up to regular prices, and I have probably about 2 weeks worth of Dollar Tree stuff that I could do. But again, I feel like I beat the Dollar Tree to death, if you will.
Yes.
So I have a few things that I'm expecting in the mail over the coming week. I'm going to wait and then do another Warzone next week. As you saw in the trailer, celebrating the 60th birthday of Johnny Depp on the Renegades Reviews. This is everything coming over the course of the next week. Benny and June, Don Juan DeMarco, Nick of Time, which for some reason came after Don Juan DeMarco, and Johnny Depp looked like he was 15 in the fucking movie. Father of a girl, but you know. And the new release Saturday, still a Michael J. Fox movie, which chronicles his Parkinson's journey going all the way back to 1990 when he was first diagnosed.
Wow.
Should be very interesting, especially considering how much me and Jeff admire Michael J. Fox.
Absolutely.
Jeff, I'm going to go ahead and let you take over for here.
Okay, so No DQ Review is back on Tuesdays, at least Sundays, rather, easy for me to say, at least until I think until Forbidden Door week, because they're have the Forbidden Door on Saturday. We'll talk about that when we talk about the watch-alongs. But every other Sunday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific for the No DQ Review. I should be on this week. And, of course, Aaron has recaps of Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown Monday, Wednesday, Friday over at NoDQ.com. So be sure you check that out.
We did reschedule this past Friday's Dad's Not Always on Wrestling after the weekend of insanity that was Memorial Day weekend.
Right, exactly.
We just didn't have the time for us to film and then me to edit, upload, and everything that needed to be done. So we're going to be going live.
Yes.
On Monday, 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 Eastern, with our top 10 must-see moments of the Monday Night War. It is a shared list.
Yep.
And per our production meeting, just because they are the top 10 must-see moments of the Monday Night War, the moments did not have to happen on a Monday night.
Right, exactly.
Most of them do, but they don't have to. They just had to occur during that time span.
Right, exactly. Real quick before we go, okay, we'll do this. Okay, so Talk Wrestling will be on.
I see the share screen there. I'll get through the last couple images I have for you to talk about, then we'll do that.
Cool. So Talk Wrestling will be back on Tuesdays this coming week. The only week this month that won't be on Tuesday is the week of Money in the Bank, because Aaron will be doing predictions for Money in the Bank that Tuesday, so that'll be Thursday. But other than that, back on Tuesdays after the NXT East Coast feed, 10:05 Eastern, 7:05 Pacific. The flagship, if you will, baby, the mothership comes home. Greg Cherry brand presents the Greg Cherry Show every Wednesday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. I'll be on there for at least the next few weeks. And again, the Greg Cherry brand comes back to the multiverse beginning the week following Money in the Bank. So that's
yes, and a big thank you to Greg for popping in earlier in the chat room. That was very cool.
Much appreciated, sir. So they actually announced... Yeah, they actually announced the 5 finalists a couple of days ago. She is in the finals.
Good.
It's going for another week. So our buddy Lizzie Valentine, of course, those of you that follow Wrestling Society, AX, XPW, the other companies that have been out there in the indies, if you will. She is trying to get on the cover of Muscle and Fitness Hers, so please vote for her over at MissHealthAndFitness.com. The link is there. You can also link off of my Facebook and her Facebook. And my lifelong friend, Nikki Stevens, is still accepting Zoom and Skype lessons for playing guitar, playing bass, playing anything. She is a wonderful employee of the Fender company, Fender Play. So at Nikki_Nacho_Stevens on Instagram. I got through it the first time. I'm proud of my goddamn self. Hit her up for lessons. And Throwback Thursday for last week, this coming week, and the following week through JJ and the Casa, we'll be revisiting Rob Van Dam on Talk Wrestling, which was, I can't believe this is a thing. These were recorded in January and aired in February 2008. There is
they're
a cameo.
15 years old.
Yeah, there was a cameo by Dylan's mom in one of the 3 parts, because Aaron broke the hour up into 3 parts, that a very pregnant Dylan's mom actually appears talking to Rob really quick. It blows my mind how long we've been friends with this guy and how much his appearances on the shows have become intertwined with my son's life. It's bonkers.
And
I'm surprised you didn't make a joke about needing to get the Ovaltine or your spine curving when I mentioned this is 15 years ago.
Oh well, I already had my dose when Josh was talking about being 6th grade when the fucking Taylor Swift song came out. I already had my dose. Thank you though. I'll go get it now that you brought it up. But anyway.
Yeah, for the record as well, my first time ever seeing Jeff was that very podcast. So there you go.
It was one of those things where he did Raw 15 and he was I'm sorry, not Raw 15. What was he doing? No. He had just been written off that previous summer. He had no. I'm trying to do the math here. It was Raw 15. I'm sorry, I'm thinking a different year. He had just done Raw 15, but it was still very salty, shall we say, about the way he was written off of the concussion story with Randy Orton. And, he hadn't really had a chance to come on and explain what happened the night of the incident with the police and Sabu when he was forced to give up the WWE Heavy Championships. And that was the first time that I recall that he went, in depth, telling about the story, telling about being pulled over and the conversations he had with the police and everything. So I cannot recommend those 3 episodes enough that we did with Rob. It was an hour recording. Aaron broke up into 3 snippets. To this day, even now, 16 years later almost, or just over 15 years, excuse me, it's my finest work as an interviewer. I still put that in my Mick Foley in his original memoir talking about the best 3 things he's done. It's still up there in my top 3, top 5 I ever did as far as the interviewer goes.
There you go.
So please go check it out on JD's channel this and next Thursday.
There you go. Of course, we've got all our watch-alongs that are coming up, including tonight, Dominion. We had a couple of comments come through about that repeated.
Yes. Change
Just read a tweet that states that Claudio Castagnoli is running late and the 6-man title will now be the semi-main as a result. Your reaction to that? Keen A-Train brought up the same thing.
Yes, they did. As long as he's actually going to be there, they're not just abandoning the match, I'm fine with it. Right?
According to NJPW1972.com, they made it official too. In fact, the delay apparently affected the Carter so much. This 6-man heavyweight tag team match is going to be the semi-main event. Push down the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title to the 7th.
There you go.
There you go.
And then, of course, after that, we've got Against All Odds this coming Friday. Noah and James on the call for that.
Killer Kelly versus Masha Slavis dog collar match. The violence that will ensue.
Jesus.
We've already plugged Collision, so I'm not going to plug that again at this exact moment. But then we got Forbidden Door.
Yep.
And then we've got all of this coming up for WWE. Money in the Bank, Great American Bash, SummerSlam, WrestleMania. We just had the announcement this week of Death Before Dishonor.
Yes.
We had the announcement last week also of Victory Road.
That's
all
right.
being added to the schedule.
I'm glad you got that. I told you I missed a few of those in my redos, so thank you for being diligent, Jay. I appreciate that.
Not a problem. And then, of course, we've discussed them amongst the evening. Coming soon to Open Mic Night, we've got the match game.
Yeah.
I did keep this one instead of the one that you sent me, Jeff, because the Open Mic Game Night logo blocked the match game board.
I did it on purpose.
Yeah, I preferred showing the board, though.
Okay.
I thought it looked aesthetically better.
Super match board.
But, of course, that's going to come Saturday the 17th after our watch-along coverage of Collision.
Yes.
And then we're going to go straight from match game into standard Open Mic Night fare. And then, of course, we've got all of these things coming up.
Holy hell.
Those are straight.
Pyramid in July. Yeah. Pyramid in July. British Invasion Karaoke Night in August. Lingo in September. Haunted Hangman, which is basically our version of Wheel of Fortune. There's no wheel for us to spin.
Yeah. It's impossible at PowerPoint.
So we're doing puzzle solving games without a wheel to spin. So that's why I came up with the idea of Hangman. And because it's October
Yep.
We went the Haunted Handman route.
Yep.
Disney karaoke in November.
Not happening.
Don't get started, Noah. You
Oh, it'll
know what
happen.
happens when you do that.
Not happening.
People come for you when you do that.
Mm.
We'll have the second annual open mic Christmas karaoke night in December. Yes, I know that means that is back-to-back karaoke nights. Jeff and I have already kind of discussed things. We're still working out the intricacies, but we're probably going to do a 2-for-1 deal for the Christmas karaoke because we know that's 2 karaoke nights, months in a row.
Right.
So in an effort to try to make things more cost effective and tantalizing to you guys to donate, we're probably going to do 2-for-1 deals throughout the course of the evening.
Right.
Price is Right, of course, in January, and then Clash of the Couples in February in time for Valentine's Day. And then wrestling karaoke, our second annual, going into WrestleMania next year.
There you go.
All kinds of good stuff. And then, of course, not on that graphic, but coming next summer will be the beach party.
Right.
And coming next October will be the Dead Man's Party, Halloween Scarioke.
Yes.
That's pretty scary right there, too. So
Yeah. That is an homage to the Brock Lesnar jump scare he gave us a couple weeks ago on Raw. The crazy beast thing after.
So there you go.
Yeah.
With my stuff, I will be brief with this because you saw everything in the beginning of the show. So if you want to watch it, go back. But here are the stuff that is coming up on FTW Productions. First, on Wrestling Fortune 44, which you can find youtube.com/@Wrestling Fortune 44 Birdman. You will see right now on demand Payback 2020 celebrating the 1,000-day moniker, reviewing Payback 2020 where it all began. On top of that, we will have AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, and the Wrestling Rundown all coming out on Monday, covering the week of wrestling in AEW and WWE, and also the madness that was this week in wrestling on the Wrestling Rundown, and probably so much more. So stay tuned for that. And I have a watch party on my channel that I'm going to play a clip of because it's absolutely hilarious again. And this will be very, very quick as well. But if you want to watch the whole thing, I suggest you do so because Noah's got the Taco Bell advertisement on there. If you like memes, you'll like that. But yeah, here is this little last bit. We saw Zero in the chat earlier. This is him. He sent me a picture of a pizza looking like a nether region. That's really it. And then this was my appropriate response.
I don't know, but I fucking...
Bro, where do you go to find this shit?
Twitter.
Oh, of course.
My feed is so fucked up, bro.
How much? Here's the question: how much porn do you follow?
That's on my other account, okay?
It's on my other account.
At least he's honest.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah, but I'm still contemplating. The one thing about my other account, I'm still contemplating. Do I watch that OnlyFans now? I'm thinking about it. I went for never mind.
Yeah, women's wrestling has been a lot of difference since they started.
What you trying to say?
Completely threw me
They
off.
went from dudes body slamming each other to fit young Asian girls slamming each other. Shit's fucking wild.
There you go, everyone. The shenanigans that are the watch party, everyone.
Yep.
There you go. And hey, there's my cool background for my desktop now. There you go. You got to see that. There's a screen preview there. So there you go.
Noah.
Find me on the Twitter and the YouTube, primarily Annan Foster 1916 for all things wrestling. Shout out to the AEW family, of course, on the Twitter and other feeds. For people who don't know me, know this, for I am just a simple man. There you go, the YouTube thing. It's as simple as that. But also, if you haven't figured out by now, I am a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! But I digress. And as always, I like to conclude, there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters. Just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too. Even if you have to deal with Fruity Pebble bullshit. Treasure your families and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It's as simple as that.
All right. We did it, gentlemen. We got it done before the top of the hour. And Mansfield, and yeah, I was going to say, and Mansfield didn't have to go bed early.
No Mimi's early for Mansfield.
We didn't have to put the baby to bed before curfew.
Ooh.
A good boy. He's a good boy. He's our cute special boy.
For the Cleveland combatant, the melter of the multiverse,
I'm the special.
Josh Mansfield. For the Hebe man, James Hebert.
I'm the special.
For the simple man with the spectacular voice who will be calling Dominion in just about an hour, Noah Foster. For the man whose name is no longer on the marquee because I had to pull it down so I could, do all the shills and stuff. Here. Wait for it. Woo! For the man whose name is on the marquee, the West Coast Professor, Jeff motherfucking Meacham. I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, your host and moderator for the Saturday night shenanigans that are Open Mic Night. Thank you all for joining us this evening, and we will get back to normal, running long like we always do. Yes, Josh?
Super chat. $2. It is just about acknowledging Noah's message.
I acknowledge Noah's Simple Man motto, yes.
We the ones.
We acknowledge that more than anything on this channel.
Yes, thank you very much for the Super Chat, Emmanuel. I almost missed that because I was away from the comments so I could do the images.
Yes.
Thank you again to everybody who joined us and tuned in this evening. Again, we will have our regular schedule next week when we probably go for another hour. Doing like we do. But we appreciate y'all joining us, tuning in. We hope that we will see you guys all here very, very shortly for our coverage of Dominion right here on the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media. Good night, everybody.
And for the rest of you, the founder's tired of your shit.
Fuck Bill Belichick.